Chapter 1661 The Giant Black Island, Use the Lord of the Immortal Realm. These inextinguishable lords rushed into the depths of the abyss one by one, trying to find the resources inside. Soon, they encountered the immortal beast. Boom! The fight began. They thought that there were not many nihilistic beasts in the immortal realm, but they underestimated the nihilistic beasts in the abyss. More than a dozen nihilistic beasts that are comparable to the immortal realm appeared, and this place is suitable for nihilistic beasts to fight. Although the lords of the immortal realm can suppress these nihilistic beasts, it is somewhat difficult to kill these nihilistic beasts. Just then, an inextinguishable realm lord appeared, grabbed an inextinguishable realm emptiness beast with one hand, and crushed it directly, but the emptiness beast became invisible and gathered in the distance, but it was still injured. I have seen Lord Chenhai. I have seen Lord Chenhai. I have seen Lord Chenhai. Many inextinguishable realm lords said respectfully one by one. Lord Chenhai is not an ordinary lord of immortality, and is very close to immortality. Although he has not yet become half immortal, his real strength is not weaker than half immortal, and even immortal is difficult to attack, kill. Therefore, in countless time and space territories, Lord Chenhai is a very special lord of eternal realm. But what really makes others dare not deal with Lord Chenhai is not his strength, but that he has 3 clones, which are clones that truly have the same strength as the main body and can freely enter other places without restrictions. The 3 avatars plus the main body, a total of 4 bodies, exist in countless time and space territories, and it is difficult to find all of his 4 bodies. Once, an immortal realm united 8 indestructible realm lords to besiege the Chenhai Lord. The 8 lords of the immortal realm temporarily trapped the 2 bodies of the Lord of Chenhai, and the immortal realm personally held the other body. At first, they thought that Lord Chenhai only had 3 bodies, and they paid a lot of money to investigate the positions of the 3 bodies, and thus carried out this siege. But the final result was that the 3 bodies of Lord Chenhai were killed one after another, but they also killed the 2 immortal realms with all their might. After countless years, the Lord of Chenhai returned, killed the 6 living lords of the immortal realm one after another, and brought them into a Jedi at the cost of the fall of 3 avatars, which severely damaged the immortal realm, Lord. To this day, the immortal realm Lord has not fully recovered from his injuries. Because of this, Lord Chenhai has become famous in countless time and space territories. Therefore, these inextinguishable lords are so respectful when they see Lord Chenhai, and they dare not offend him at all. Lord Chenhai nodded slightly, and immediately began to deal with these nihilistic beasts. The reason why he came here is very simple, he is also looking for an opportunity to break through to the immortal realm. He also has an immortal realm enemy. If he can break through to the immortal realm, he will have enough confidence to kill him. Otherwise, he is afraid that he will not be able to kill the opponent at all. With the addition of Lord Chenhai, these nihilistic beasts could not be stopped at all, and were quickly hit hard. These nihilistic beasts were a little wise, so they were afraid of falling and fled one by one. These nihilistic beasts are really hard to kill. Lord Chenhai shook his head. It is a pity that he is already in the indestructible realm, and such a void beast is of little help to him, otherwise he would have killed some void beasts at all costs. Whoa! A lord of the immortal realm went deep into the depths of the abyss, looking for the so-called chance. And not long after they left, a figure appeared. It was Yi Tian. These inextinguishable realm lords have severely damaged those inextinguishable realm nihilistic beasts, and those inextinguishable realm nihilistic beasts should not stop me for the time being. Yi Tian muttered. He followed the attraction of copying talent and went deep into the depths of the abyss. Soon, the attraction of the mysterious treasure to Yi Tian became stronger and stronger, and he should not be far from the location of the treasure. Arrive. Yi Tian came to a huge black island. The treasure that attracted him was on this black island, but just as he stepped into this black island, a black light attacked. The speed of the black light was so fast that Yi Tian couldn't react at all, and his clone was instantly killed. That was just now. Yi Tian's face was solemn. The black light shot out from the depths of the black island, and he couldn't dodge it, as if his will was frozen, and he didn't have time to react. And the distance is too far, and his duplicate body can't cover it there. But he can roughly guess that the one who shot him should be a void beast, and it is not an ordinary void beast, not comparable to half-step immortal realm, that is comparable to real immortal realm. His strength is too far away from immortal realm, so it is impossible to estimate the strength of the opponent. If he didn't solve the mysterious nihilistic beast, he couldn't go to the Black Island to find the treasure he needed. The lords of the immortal realm must be used, Yi Tian thought to himself. So, he publicized the Black Island and the amazing treasures on the island, and informed the other Baji people in the Baji building. This news will definitely not be concealed, and it will even reach the ears of the lords of the immortal realm. At that time, those lords of the immortal realm are afraid that they will go to the Black Island, that is, they will fight against the mysterious nihilistic beast. Once they fought, Yi Tian had a chance. Soon, the news spread. A Black Island, top 1 resource, and a powerful nihilistic beast on it. Lord Chenhai also learned about this news, pondered for a while, and immediately prepared to take a look. The location of the Black Island was recorded in the news. He just went to take a look. There was no loss. If it was true, he would have made a profit. Wow! Lord Chenhai traveled through the void and quickly arrived at the Black Island. At the same time, other inextinguishable lords also arrived here, but they vaguely felt the danger. After all, the strength of these inextinguishable lords is far stronger than Yi Tian, so they can naturally detect something wrong, but they will not leave. When the lords of Chenhai came, their hearts were settled. At least with Lord Chenhai, even if the mysterious nihilistic beast is very powerful, they will not be unable to cope. Lord Chenhai didn't worry at all. He stepped directly into the Black Island, and other lords of immortality followed, and even a few lords from the peak of immortality seemed to want to join in the fun. Some chance. Just as they entered the Black Island, black lights attacked one after another. The lords of the peak of the eternal life were not able to escape, and were instantly killed by a single blow. And the lords of the inextinguishable realm also reacted and resisted these black lights one after another, but they were all beaten upside down and flew out. Only Lord Chenhai easily resisted the black light attack. However, this is just the other side's ordinary nihilistic beast. Boom! An almost transparent void beast appeared, but when the opponent attacked, the arm would turn black, and those black lights shot out from its fingers. No, it's a third-order void beast. An inextinguishable lord's expression changed dramatically. Chapter 1662 The Purple Stone is here. For those half-step eternal realm, there is no clear equivalence division of the nihilistic beast, it is only compared with the realm of the eternal realm according to the strength of the opponent. This is because they have hardly come into contact with the void beasts, but those ancient eternal realms have contacted the void beasts, so they have divided the void beasts into levels. The first-order void beast is comparable to the immortal realm, the second-order void beast is comparable to the immortal realm, and the third-order void beast has not reached the immortal realm, but is stronger than the half-step immortal realm, but not as powerful as the immortal realm, but it is difficult to deal with, than the immortal realm. According to the comparative analysis between the immortal realm and the third-order void beast in the past, a just promoted immortal realm can roughly deal with 6 third-order void beasts, and the 4th-tier void beast is stronger than the immortal realm just promoted, comparable to the old brand lord of the immortal realm. Go back. Those inextinguishable realm lords retreated one after another, not daring to fight against this third-order nihilistic beast, because they really couldn't fight. The third-order nihilistic beast was very fast, and immediately set his sights on Lord Chenhai. Lord Chenhai also had a solemn expression. Although he had once severely damaged an immortal state, he used a forbidden area and paid the price of 3 clones to severely damage the immortal state, and there were also factors of the immortal state's carelessness. And here is the home of the void beast. Even if he is 3 clones together, he can't help this third-order void beast, and he will even be killed by it. 827 saw that a knife appeared in Lord Chenhai's hand, slashing the third-order nihilistic beast continuously. However, those attacks fell on the third-order void beast, most of the attack power was offset by the third-order void beast, and the rest of the power could not bring too much damage to the void beast. On the contrary, the attack of the void beast, Lord Chenhai must deal with it with all his strength, and he will be injured if he is not careful. And the third-order nihilistic beast did not intend to let other inextinguishable realm lords go. Countless black tentacles appeared on his body, attacking the inextinguishable realm lord, preparing to leave them all. Join us together, or we won't be able to leave. The lords of the immortal realm said. Boom! The lords of the inextinguishable realm joined forces to fight against the Tier 3 void beast. However, their attack power could not injure CJFI Tier 3 void beasts in the slightest. They were completely dispelled by void beasts. A door of eternal skills bombarded Tier 3 void beasts like a tickling. Immediately, some inextinguishable realms began to cast formations, trying to trap this third-order nihilistic beast. However, when the formation of the formation is completed, with a large number of eternal source weapon levels as the foundation, it is still unable to trap the third-order nihilistic beast. Hiss! Large arrays were smashed and torn apart, and a large number of eternal source weapons were smashed. In a short time, many lords of the immortal realm were seriously injured. Unexpected, the second clone of Lord Chenhai appeared, but he did not let the two clones join forces to resist the third-order void beast, but let the other clone look for opportunities on this black island. Whenever he encounters some top-level resources, Lord Chenhai will take them away. Perhaps it was the two bodies of Lord Chenhai that put pressure on the third-order nihilistic beasts, which caused the third-order nihilistic beasts to not vigorously pursue and intercept other immortal lords, so some immortal lords managed to escape. Yi Tian also came here and has been waiting for an opportunity. He didn't dare to delay for too long. If he kept waiting silently like this, if the treasure he needed that could upgrade his copying talent was taken away by an inextinguishable lord, it would be very difficult for him to get it back. Therefore, he must act as soon as possible. But before taking action, he is going to fuse the virtual immortal ancestors into one. He has not fused this immortal ancestral gift called emptiness before. If he does, he can use the ability of emptiness to offset part of the attack, and perhaps he can withstand the blow of a third-order nihilistic beast without dying. Immediately, he began to fuse, and let the clone beside him to accelerate time. Soon, the immortal ancestral Fu was successfully fused by Yi Tian's cloned body. Then, Yi Tian's duplicate body began to enter this black island. As soon as he entered the black island, Yi Tian quickly passed by following his sense of the mysterious treasure. Perhaps the number of inextinguishable realms on the black island was so large that the third-order nihilistic beast did not immediately attack Yi Tian, thus allowing Yi Tian to really pass through. How fast is the speed of the 8 extreme realm, and he has a clear goal, so he quickly shuttled to the location of the treasure. Purple stone. On a mountain peak, Yi Tian saw a purple stone. Without saying a word, he directly took the purple stone, and then began to shuttle to escape this black island. At the moment when he shuttled away, a black light came through. Yi Tian has opened many defenses, and even the immortal ancestral gift of virtualization has also been displayed. Puff. The black light pierced through Yi Tian's body, and Yi Tian tried his best to hide his breath, plus his own strength was very weak, so the illusory beast with a low IQ felt that Yi Tian was bound to die if he suffered this blow, so there was no first place. Time to strike again. And this gave Yi Tian the chance and hope to escape. He continued to shuttle and fled beyond the black island. And at the moment when he escaped from the black island, a finger of the third-order nihilistic beast came to kill and crushed Yi Tian's body with a single blow. Immediately, Yi Tian's body that duplicated the body was annihilated, and even the will that the duplicate body possessed was shattered, leaving only some substances. But at this time, Yi Tian's clone did not waste time, came here quickly, and escaped again with what Yi Tian left behind. This is the advantage of having two bodies, so that after being killed, there is no way to continue to take things away. The third-order nihilistic beast did not notice this, so it did not immediately attack Yi Tian's avatar, causing Yi Tian's avatar to escape successfully. In fact, if it catches up, it can naturally kill Yi Tian. However, there are other immortal realms and two clones of Lord Chenhai here, so they will not abandon this place to hunt down Yi Tian. Soon, Yi Tian's clone escaped from the depths of the abyss and came to the outer area. He searched for an island, hit it, and then began to speed up time, and when he could continue to condense the duplicate body, he condensed the duplicate body out. Then, Yi Tian's cloned body, the avatar with purple power that does not return to the outside world, is handed over to the main body. Only in this way can he truly rest assured. Chapter 1663 Celestial Origin Orb, Copying Talent Transformation. After the clone left the abyss, it shuttled through the void area at an extremely fast speed. He has not yet relaxed, and only when the clone returns to the main body can he be truly relieved. Over time, the situation in the abyss has changed considerably. Lord Chenhai and the others couldn't help the third-order nihilistic beast, but Lord Chenhai still stole a lot of good things. Yi Tian's message was right, there were indeed many top-notch resources born on that black island, enough to make the lords of the immortal realm excited, and even useful to the lords of Chenhai. However, there are not many eternal realms that can really snatch good things, and even a few indestructible realm lords were almost killed. Now, they dare not step into that black island again. After a long time, Yi Tian's avatar returned to the space-time territory, and passed through the space-time territories, and came to the Baji building. The Bajilo has a great influence in the space-time territory, and naturally has a channel to enter the Source Sea. For example, Bajilo cooperates with many immortal lords, and you can ask immortal lords to bring members of Bajilo to Yuanai, and you only need to pay some time and space coins. So, Yi Tian found an eternal life realm Lord Wolf Feng through Bajilu's relationship. This lord has a pretty good relationship with the Baji building, mainly because an eternal realm who has been promoted from the Baji building is quite caring for the Wolf-Tooth Lord, which makes the relationship between the Wolf-Tooth Lord and the Baji building closer. Yi Tian immediately contacted the Wolf-Tooth Lord, and immediately came to the Wolf-Tooth territory of the Wolf-Tooth Lord. Wow! Yi Tian walked out of the space-time passage, entered the Wolf-Tooth territory, and soon saw the Wolf-Tooth Lord. The Wolf-Tooth Lord does not look like a human, but a giant human-shaped wolf. I have seen the Wolf-Tooth Lord. Yi Tian greeted very politely. The endless ancestor of the Baji building, you want to go to the Source Sea? Lord Wolf Fang asked with some doubts. Because in his opinion, Yi Tian should not have touched the second boundary barrier yet, and he doesn't need to hit the 9 extreme realm half-step eternal realm level. Why did he go to Yuanai at this time? Yi Tian saw the doubts of Lord Wolf Fang and explained. Lord Wolf Fang, I am a creature of Yuanai, so I want to go back and have a look. Original sea creatures. Lord Wolf Fang suddenly changed his attitude and said with a smile, I didn't expect you to be the origin sea creature, the first ancestor of the infinite. Many of the 8 extreme realms are extremely envious of the origin sea creatures. However, the extreme realm can only be compared to the half-step eternal realm, and can only live for 10 million eternal years. However, the origin sea creature's 8 extreme realm has enough time to impact the 9 extreme realm or the eternal realm. Yi Tian shook his head and smiled bitterly. Although the lifespan of Yuanai creatures is infinite, it is extremely difficult to grow to the extreme realm. It's more than that. The same is true. The rules of the Source Sea are too perfect, so it is difficult to practice, and the rules of time and space are not perfect, which means that there are loopholes. Treasures and resources that are beyond the constraints of the rules will be born, as well as various treasures, and even powerful physiques and races. It's all a situation that Yuanai can't appear. Lord Wolf Fang said. The two chatted for a while before they got down to business. I saw that the Wolf-Tooth Lord gave Yi Tian a token and said, this is a special communication token, which can penetrate the barrier of the Source Sea and enter the space-time territory. Although the speed of receiving information is slow, once I receive the information, I can entering the Source Sea and taking you out. You don't need to go through the space-time island again. Thank you, Lord Wolf Fang. These are 1 million space-time coins. Yi Tian handed over 1 million space-time coins to Lord Wolf Fang. This is the cost of entering the Source Sea, but if you come out, you will only need 100,000 space-time coins. The infinite ancestor is polite. Take this million space-time coins back, just be a friend. Lord Wolf Fang did not accept these space-time coins. Yi Tian roughly guessed the thoughts of Lord Wolf Fang, and he should have valued him very much, so he befriended him. If it is the 8 extreme realm of the space-time territory, it is very likely that, like Ji Yuhi Yuanzu, the end of his lifespan has come, and he has not yet broken through to the 9 extreme realm or eternal realm, so he can only venture into some forbidden areas and make a gamble with the Jedi. And many of the 8 extreme realms are in the process of gambling, and they have completely fallen into a forbidden place. But Yi Tian is different. He has a long lifespan, he can endure it slowly, and finally emerge into a butterfly, breaking through into the eternal realm. Once the 8-pole realm half-step eternal realm breaks through to the eternal realm, the worst is an indestructible realm lord. Ask for flowers. Therefore, a mere 1 million time and space coins is nothing compared to making friends with a future immortal lord. Yi Tian did not insist that the Wolf-Tooth Lord accept these space-time coins, but took them back. Immediately, Lord Wolf Fang began to take Yi Tian to Yuanai. Shout out! The Wolf-Tooth Lord tore apart the space-time barrier, and soon formed a space-time channel, reaching the Source Sea barrier. Boom! The Yuanai barrier was smashed, and the power of the Wolf-Tooth Lord wrapped Yi Tian and entered the Yuanai with Yi Tian. Source Sea. Yi Tian appeared in an unfamiliar territory, and Lord Wolf Fang was beside him. At this time, the Wolf-Tooth Lord said, the Endless Ancestor, I have sent you here, so it is not convenient to stay here. Then, the Wolf-Tooth Lord left, and Yi Tian quickly returned to the dark forbidden area, returned to the body, and took out the purple stone. Yi Tian touched the purple stone, and felt that the treasure that the copy talent was desperate for was at the core of the purple stone. But the purple stone is extremely hard, so he melted the purple stone little by little, and it took a long time for the purple stone to crack. Click, the purple stone cracked, and a tiny purple bead appeared in the void. At this time, the desire to copy talent is extremely strong. Duplicating talent wants him to devour this purple bead, which is an instinct. Heavenly Origin Pearl, the name came into Yi Tian's mind. He picked up the Celestial Origin Orb and swallowed it, and began refining the Celestial Origin Orb. Immediately, a surge of energy poured into the world of the imprint of the talent that the copy talent turned into, prompting the copy talent to begin to transform. The transformation this time far surpassed any previous one, as if it was a transformation that crossed the rules, and even the source of the yuan began to vibrate, as if announcing the birth of a heaven-defying existence. I don't know how long it took before Yi Tian's transformation was truly completed. After the transformation was completed, Yi Tian checked his own copying talent for the first time. Chapter 1664 6 Bodies. Powerful copy talent. The copy talent really changed a lot. Yi Tian was quite excited. For him, the biggest change is the change of copying the body. Although he can condense two copying bodies before, they are actually a kind of clone. But now after the copy talent is upgraded, there is no copying body and clone difference. Even if the body falls, the duplicate body will become the body. That is to say, he is very difficult to be killed. As long as any replica body is alive, he cannot be killed. Moreover, he now not only copied 2 bodies, but 5. In other words, he can now form 6 bodies together with his main body. The enemy must kill his 6 bodies at the same time before he can really kill him. However, it is very difficult to do this, and it can even be said that can't do it. 827. In addition, after the copy talent has been upgraded, it has already been condensed on the immortal ancestors. Now it is very easy for him to copy other people's immortal ancestors. He can copy it successfully in an instant, and he can also fuse the immortal ancestors of the same kind. As long as there are a large number of immortal ancestors endowment, he can merge into a more powerful talent. And the range covered by the copy talent is also greatly increased, about 10 times the range. It has to be said that the current copying talent is much stronger than before. First timing. Yi Tian has condensed a new copy body, which is also equivalent to the real body. The dark forbidden area sits on a body, that is, the original body. A copy of the body enters the other side of the source sea, and lives in seclusion in a treasure land. On this side of the abyss, the cloned bodies were also condensed, and 2 at once. In this way, on the land of the abyss, it is equivalent to having 3 replica bodies, and the 3 replica bodies enter the land of the abyss to find the void beast. He didn't look for the void beast before, because the void beast was of little use to him. But now, he can integrate the immortal ancestry, and naturally he has to look for the void beasts and copy the immortal ancestry on them. As time passed, Yi Tian's 3 cloned bodies found quite a few emptiness beasts in the land of nowhere. Once they copied their immortal ancestors, they left immediately and did not fight with them. Yi Tian can't kill void beasts, so there is no need to entangle with them. It's purely a waste of time. It's a pity that there are not many nihilistic beasts in the land of the abyss, so Yi Tian wants to use the talents of these nihilistic beasts to fuse them into higher level talents, which is almost impossible. However, at least this is a good start. If he finds some nihilistic beasts in the future, wouldn't he be able to merge into a higher level talent? This day, the land of the abyss has ushered in an immortal existence. He came here with a very simple purpose, that is, to deal with the 3rd order nihilistic beast on the Black Island. Without the immortal lord, no one can shake it. That 3rd order void beast. Therefore, he came. In the void not far from the Black Island, a lord of the immortal realm came here. The reason why they dared to come here is naturally because of the lord of the immortal realm. Lord Void Sword, it's here. An immortal lord said respectfully. Lord of the Void Sword, one of the immortal realm lords, is also the immortal realm existence who once went to Yuan and took away the golden sea tree of eternal knowledge. In the endless time and space territory, many immortal realm lords do not appear very much, or they are not in the same circle as other eternal realms and half-step eternal realms, and it is usually difficult to see them. But the Void Sword Lord is very active and is one of the immortal realm lords that is easy to see. It stands to reason that the Lord of the immortal realm would not care about the resources in the land of nowhere, but the Lord of the virtual sword sees it. Collect. Moreover, the land of the abyss is not dangerous to him, so he will come here to harvest a wave of resources. Wow, the Void Sword Lord stepped over to the Black Island in one step. Immediately, the 3rd order void beast shot. Boom. The 3rd order void beast rushed towards the illusory sword lord, and the rules of nothingness protected the whole body, making the body illusory, and his hands turned into black roulettes, suppressing the illusory sword lord. This is the real shot of the 3rd order phantom beast, and it will do its best to deal with the illusory sword lord alone. If other inextinguishable realm lords come here and fight against the 3rd order nihilistic beast alone, I am afraid that they will be killed soon. Cut. The illusory sword lord condenses his own eternal will in the eternal rules of the innate illusory sword, and integrates it into his own sword. But this sword seemed to pierce into nothingness, but it still brought some injuries to the third-order nothingness beast. However, the Tier 3 void beast healed quickly. Boom. The void sword lord and the Tier 3 void beast are constantly fighting. It seems that the void sword lord has the advantage, but in fact it is very difficult to kill the third-tier void beast. Unexpected. The lord of the void sword created a world of eternal domain rules, trapped the third-order nihilistic beast, and kept fighting with it. At this time, the immortal realm under the lord of the virtual sword immediately poured into the Black Island and began to collect many resources on the Black Island. This is the plan of the void sword lord. He is not going to kill this third-order nihilistic beast at all, because he is not sure. What he values is only the resources here. Soon, all the resources on this Black Island were collected, and even some ore veins were uprooted. Walk. Lord Voidsword urged his subordinates to leave the Eternal Realm. Whoa. A lord of the Eternal Realm shuttled away, so as not to be chased and killed by the third-order nihilistic beast. The third-order nihilistic beast has a very strong sense of belonging to the territory, so seeing that his territory has been destroyed so thoroughly, it is completely crazy and the last reason is lost. But even so, he still couldn't beat the Void Sword Lord, and was completely suppressed by the Void Sword Lord by 5.8. If it wasn't for his own void talent that was too terrifying, he would have been severely injured. But after playing for a while, the Void Sword Lord didn't want to continue fighting. As a result, when the Void Sword Lord transformed into a sword light and tore it apart, the light escaped from the perception range of the third-order Void Beast. Boom! The third-order Void Beast left the island and began to take revenge. Once it encountered the Eternal Realm or half-step Eternal Realm, it began to kill it. After Etienne heard the news, he was ready to leave. Not only Etienne, but the other half-step Eternal Realm are all ready to leave. But when Etienne left the land of the abyss, not long after he came out, the void area in the distance began to rippling. Next, he saw an amazing scene. Chapter 1665 The Legendary Lord and the Fifth Order Void Beast. One after another void beasts appeared from the depths of the void area, and there were a lot of them, making all the Eternal Realms and half-step Eternal Realms startled. No, run away. A named Eternal Realm escaped at the fastest speed. Etienne didn't dare to stay here. After all, he hasn't merged those immortal ancestors. Once these three cloned bodies fall, then this clone will be wasted in vain. At this time, the Void Sword Lord who was in the Land of Nowhere also sensed the trouble, and immediately tore the Land of Nowhere and came out from the Land of Nowhere. But as soon as he came out, he was immediately stared at by the Void Beast. Boom! A humanoid Void Beast whose size far surpassed other Void Beasts smashed the Void, appeared beside the Void Sword Lord, and punched the Void Sword Lord with a punch. I saw that the Lord of the Virtual Sword was blasted out by a punch, his body was cracked, and the Eternal Source weapon armor on his body was shattered. The Fourth Order Void Beast. Lord Void Sword's expression changed drastically. The Fourth Order Nihilistic Beast is much more powerful than the Third Order Nihilistic Beast, and it is comparable to the old-fashioned Immortal Realm Lord. Although the Virtual Sword Lord is powerful, he is not very powerful in the Immortal Realm. He is just an ordinary Immortal Realm Lord, and he really can't beat the Fourth Order Void Beast. More importantly, he couldn't hurt the Fourth Order Void Beast, but the Fourth Order Void Beast could hurt him. He didn't know if there was only one Fourth Order Phantom Beast. Even if there was only one Fourth Order Phantom Beast, if it cooperated with many Third Order Phantom Beasts, there was still hope to kill him. As the Eternal Realm of the Immortal Realm, he does not want to fall here. Damn, how come there are so many nihilistic beasts here? It's not too far from the Source Sea, and it's not too deep into the depths of the nihilistic area. It stands to reason that nihilistic beasts will not come here on a large scale. The Void Sword Lord secretly said. He didn't have time to think about why the Void Beast appeared. He had to get rid of this Fourth Order Void Beast, otherwise it would be really dangerous. Unexpected. The Void Sword Lord splits countless sword lights and leaves through time and space. Every sword light is his strength. As long as one escapes, he can recover in a short time. This is also a means of saving his life. The Fourth Order Void Beast wanted to intercept the Void Sword Lord, but only intercepted a few sword lights. At this moment, 3 more Tier 4 Void Beasts appeared, all of them blasted towards the Void Sword Lord. Suddenly, part of the sword light of the Virtual Sword Lord was shattered again. In the distance, many sword lights of the Virtual Sword Lord gathered again. But at this time, his face was extremely pale, and it was obvious that he was seriously injured. 4 Fourth Order Void Beasts, what are the Void Beasts doing? The lord of the virtual sword did not dare to delay, and fled at an extremely fast speed. And the four fourth-order nihilistic beasts already have high wisdom, and they don't chase other eternal realms and half-step eternal realms. The words of the Lord are valuable. Unexpected. Another terrifying aura filled the air, causing the Void Sword Lord to shiver all over. 5. Order Void Beast. The Void Sword Lord felt the breath of death. He is also an immortal realm lord without a clone, and his imaginary sword is also extremely overbearing, so there is no way to condense clones so far, so he is now the main body. If the main body falls, it is really fallen. I'm just here to collect some resources for my new concubine. How could I encounter a life and death crisis? The Void Sword Lord was extremely regretful. He didn't even want to fight the Fifth Order Void Beast. Even a few million eternity years ago, there was only one Fifth Order Void Beast, and after being severely injured, he escaped from the space-time territory and entered the depths of the Void area. Place. How rare is the Fifth Order Void Beast? There is one here. The Immortal Realm Lord can't compete with the Fifth Order Nihilistic Beast at all. In the endless space-time territory, only the legendary Lord above the Immortal Realm Lord can truly compete with a Fifth Order Nihilistic Beast. In the endless time and space territory, there are a total of 6 legendary lords, and they are also the 6 presidents of the Lord Alliance, and they hardly care about the facts. This time, the Fifth Order Void Beast appeared, and the Void Sword Lord knew that he could not compete, and could only hope that one of the 6 guild leaders would come, otherwise he would not be able to escape. I called for help a long time ago, and I hope the Alliance of Lords can come to support in time. The Void Sword Lord secretly said. The speed of the Fifth Order Void Beast was too fast, and it caught up with the Void Sword Lord in an instant. I saw the opponent's palm full of black hair slapped over at once. The Virtual Sword Lord tried his best to resist the opponent's blow, and urged some life-saving things, which was barely able to resist the blow, but he was still severely injured. At this moment, the Virtual Sword Leader took the initiative to use one of his whole cards. I saw that he took out a small black sword, and after urging the small black sword, his breath became wilted, but the sword released infinite sword light, and every ray of sword light was comparable to the power of the peak of the immortal realm. A full blow. The endless sword light, how terrifying its formidable power, wiped out this void area. However, the Fifth Order Nihilistic Beast turned into nihility. It seemed to be there, but it did not exist in nihility, rules and will levels, as if it really did not exist, leaving no trace in the world. Therefore, the trump card of the Void Sword Lord did not hurt the Fifth Order Void Beast in the slightest. It didn't even hurt it. The Void Sword Lord was shocked. 827 He had never fought against the Fifth Order Nihilistic Beast, so he did not understand the strength of the Fifth Order Nihilistic Beast at all. He thought that his trump card could hurt the top Immortal Realm Lord, maybe hurt the Fifth Order Nihilistic Beast, or buy a little time for himself, but he didn't expect it to be futile. Time and space solidified, the void area was still, and all the particles began to smash. The Lord of the Void Sword felt that the particles in his body were annihilating little by little, and the power of his whole body was imprisoned, unable to move a little bit, and even the Third Order Eternal will began to collapse and collapse. The emptiness rule field of the Fifth Order Nihilistic Beast can turn everything into the power of nihility. The Void Sword Lord was desperate. He went down and died. Just when almost 90% of his body was annihilated, the emptiness rule field of the Fifth Order Emptiness Beast was smashed, and a hand reached in, grabbed the illusory Sword Lord and left. Far away, Lord Void Sword appeared and stood beside a young man. "Thank you, Lord Liu Yang," the Virtual Sword Lord respectfully said. Lord of the Six Suns, one of the 6 legendary lords of the endless time and space territory, and one of the 6 chiefs of the Lord's Alliance. Seeing Lord Liu Yang, Lord Void Sword breathed a sigh of relief. His life was saved. Chapter 1666 Legendary Ancestral Fu. Void Beast, do you want to start a war? Lord Liu Yang stared coldly at the Fifth Order Nihilistic Beast and asked. The Fifth Order Void Beast spoke, and the voice resounded through this void area. So what, you eternal realms have invaded the land of the Abyss. The land of the Abyss is a lair of our nihilistic beasts, and invading the land of the Abyss is equivalent to declaring war on our nihilistic beasts. The Fifth Order Nihilistic Beasts are full of momentum, and they don't seem to be afraid of those eternal realms in the space-time territory, and they seem to have forgotten the things that they were once driven into the depths of the nihility area. It seems that you nihilistic beasts are very confident in your own strength this time, but just you, a Fifth Order Nihilistic Beast, can't compete with our Lord Alliance. Lord Liu Yang sneered. Then add a few more. Boom, one after another, the Fifth Order Nihilistic Beasts appeared, and a large number of nihilistic beasts also appeared around. So much. Lord Liuyang's face became heavy. At the beginning, the Alliance of Lords took action to drive out the Void Beast from this area, so that countless time and space territories can be connected and communicated freely. Otherwise, there are Void Beasts wandering in the Void area outside the space-time territory, and the space-time channel cannot be opened, and it will be destroyed by the Void Beast if you are not careful. In that battle, there were not too many nihilistic beasts, only one fifth-order nihilistic beast. But now, how could so many fifth-order nihilistic beasts be born? Could it be that these are nihilistic beasts in the depths of the emptiness area, they are allied? Liuyang Lord guessed. If so, it would not be surprising. After all, no one knows how many nihilistic beasts are in the depths of the emptiness area. If the Void Beasts were divided into forces, then the Void Beasts outside the space-time territory belong to one faction, but now it is a joint invasion of multiple Void Beast forces. They are afraid that they want to invade a long time ago, and there is no fixed time, this time without Abyss, they decided to make a move. Since you want war, come on. Lord Liuyang said fearlessly. This time, the Void Beast mobilized a total of 7 fifth-order Void Beasts in an attempt to break through the many space-time territories of the Lord Alliance at one time. Immediately, they shot. The Lord of the Six Suns retreated while fighting, and the Lords of the Immortal Realm also retreated quickly. Soon, Lord Liuyang was injured. After all, a pair of sevens, he is naturally not an opponent. At this moment, one of the 6 chiefs of the Lord Alliance, another legendary lord, Lord Aurora, appeared. A golden ray of light ripped apart the time and space of the Void area, and directly bombarded a fifth-order Void Beast. Even if the fifth-order Void Beast could completely void its body, there was no space between heaven and earth. However, the attack of the Aurora Lord can reach the level of twisted nothingness, so he hit the fifth-order Nothingness Beast and blasted it out directly. But even so, there is no way to severely damage the fifth-order Void Beast. At the beginning, the 6 legendary lords besieged a fifth-order nihilistic beast, but failed to kill it. They could only injure it and let it escape. Time passed slowly, and the battlefield defense line was pulled to a void area closer to the space-time territory. A large number of Eternal Realms participated in the war under the command of the Lord Alliance, and some of the 8 extreme realms were also forced to participate. As for the weaker existence, then there is no need to participate, otherwise, if you enter the void area, you will not be able to stay for long, and you will not even be qualified to become cannon fodder. For this war, Yi Tian is the happiest, because he can copy the immortal ancestors of many immortal beasts. As a result, he often participated in wars. With his life-saving level, the cloned body only fell once, and the others returned safely, and brought back a lot of immortal ancestors. Yi Tian doesn't know when this war will end, so he must copy enough immortal ancestors to easily merge into a talent beyond the immortal ancestors. This day, a copy of Yi Tian's body began to fuse the immortal ancestors that were copied, and the first one to fuse was the virtual ancestor. This immortal ancestor is very terrifying, and it is definitely Yi Tian's most powerful life-saving talent at present. Therefore, he naturally attaches great importance to it. With the fusion of various virtual talents, the power of this immortal ancestor is also getting stronger and stronger. It takes a long time to integrate immortal ancestors. Even if he accelerates the time, he cannot integrate these immortal ancestors to a higher level in a short time. After a long time, great changes have taken place in the war, and Yi Tian's virtual talent after fusion finally ushered in a qualitative change. Boom! The virtual talent has transformed, and it has become a talent beyond the immortal ancestors. Legendary Ancestry. This is a talent beyond the immortal ancestors, and it is much stronger than the immortal ancestors. Yi Tian found that he only used the incarnation talent of the legendary ancestral level, and it was difficult for the lords of the eternal life to hurt him. If he creates a corresponding eternal skill and develops the ability of virtualizing talent to the extreme, then such an eternal skill is probably enough to make him not afraid of the attack of the Lord of the Immortal Realm when facing the Lord of the Immortal Realm. Legendary Ancestry is too powerful, Yi Tian exclaimed. Immediately, he continued to integrate other immortal ancestors. For example, the power of immortal ancestors, every nihilistic beast also has it, so he also copied a lot. In the days that followed, Yi Tian combined all the legendary strength, legendary defense, and legendary speed ancestors, and the birth of these legendary ancestors enhanced Yi Tian's strength. What's more, his potential has greatly improved. Moreover, the legendary ancestral Fu can hopefully create the legendary eternal skill. Eternal skills are divided into ordinary eternal skills, top eternal skills and legendary eternal skills. It is said that only legendary lords can hope to create legendary eternal skills Money Jiao, and if Yi Tian creates legendary eternal skills, his strength is absolutely it will improve a lot, and even reach the second boundary barrier directly. Of course, he needs a long time to create, not all at once. This day, the war between the space-time territory and the Void Beast has undergone a new change. The high-level leaders of the Lord Alliance held a meeting to prepare to hit the Void Beast in one fell swoop. The lowest level of the Eternal Realm participating in this meeting is the Immortal Realm, and the highest is the 6 legendary lords. Certainly, they are not participating in the main body, but participate in the meeting as the incarnation of the idea, which will not affect the battle. Lord of the 6 Suns. Aurora Lord Cloak. Lord of the Holy Peak. Lord of the Wild. Dark Mist Lord. Lord of Ice Letters. 6 legendary lords and nearly 100 immortal lords gathered here. The meeting has started. Chapter 1667 The Real Value of the Void Beast. Lord Shengfeng spoke as a representative. This time, the Void Beast sent a large number of Void Beasts, but they are still under our control. With the power of the Lord Alliance, it is still possible to defeat them. Moreover, by killing these Void Beasts, we can also get more. The material of the nihilistic beast is enough to make up for the loss. Now it is time to discuss the encirclement and suppression plan, and strive to kill a few 5th-order nihilistics. After the Lord of the Holy Peak finished speaking, the Lord of the Void Sword asked, Lord of the Holy Peak, the strength of the 5th-order nihilistic beasts is comparable to that of the legendary lords, and their life-saving ability is very strong. Can the 6 presidents kill them? Of course there is. The Lord of the Holy Peak is very self-confident. Then, the Lord of Shengfeng said again, I know that many of your lords are secretly studying nihilistic beasts, but your strength has not reached the level of legendary lords. With the huge role of the Void Beast, we can announce it, and even spread it throughout the entire time and space territory. Once it is spread, I am afraid that many eternal realms who do not want to participate in the war will take action. Although the Alliance of Lords has most of the eternal realm in the space, there are still some eternal realms that have not joined the Alliance of Lords. Although they cannot enjoy some of the powers and benefits of the Alliance of Lords, they don't care. Therefore, this time, the 6 leaders could not force 827 them. But once the benefits of the Void Beast were announced, it would be enough to attract them. In this way, the encirclement and suppression plan can be better launched, so that many nihilistic beasts cannot escape. At this time, the Phoenix Lord asked urgently, Lord Shengfeng, we only know that the core of the Void Beast can help us temper our will, and the bones and fur of the Void Beast can refine the Void Holy Soldier, and the Void Holy Soldier can hurt the Void Beast. Effect, what other use? 1 inch. The other lords were also curious, waiting for the announcement of the Lord of the Holy Peak. The Lord of the Holy Peak did not continue to hide, and said, Void Beasts are a very special species, they don't seem to have any eternal rules, but their attack power can easily smash and melt the innate eternal rules, and they also have the ability to become virtual. This ability is the highest application of the eternal rule of nothingness. In addition, we found that nothingness beasts absolutely have will, but they cannot sense their will, so they are probably the perfect fusion of natural will and body, and any particle in the body is will. Because of this, our will attack is also difficult to cause damage to it. If the immortal realm wants to hit the immortal realm, it needs the body and the will to be compatible, which is the kind of perfect fusion. A little fusion is half a step. In the immortal realm, if more than 10% of the fusion is combined, you can break the boundaries and enter the immortal realm. If you integrate 100%, you can hit the legendary Lord realm. And we have found a way to improve the fusion of will and body, which is what you dream of wanting to study. Results. And the medium of this research is the nihilistic beast, if we publish this result. Do you think there are lords who won't kill the Void Beast? Lords of the immortal realm, such as the Phoenix Lord and the Void Sword Lord, were shocked. They have indeed studied it secretly, but it is difficult to achieve any results. The Phoenix Lord is the most deeply researched immortal lord, but he still hasn't researched it, but the 6 guild leaders have researched it. 6 presidents, are you really willing to announce it? The Phoenix Lord couldn't believe it. If he researched it, he would never say it. Lord Liuyang affirmed, we are naturally willing to announce it, mainly because this secret is not very useful to us, and once it is announced, it is very likely that a 7th legendary lord will be created. There are more legendary lords, our time and space territory and source the sea is safe. From the invasion of the Void Beast, we can guess that there are more than 7 5th-order Void Beasts in the depths of the Void Beast. Once a large number of 5th-order Void Beasts invade, we cannot stop it. Therefore, only we are willing to announce and improve the strength of the space-time territory. Otherwise, we would not be so selfless. Thank you to the 6 presidents. Many immortal lords thanked. In fact, for the 6 guild leaders, one more guild leader or several more guild leaders has little effect on them. What they want is the stability of eternity CJFI, and they are in charge of the time and space territory for countless eternal years without being threatened. That's what they expect. But this time the Void Beast threatened their stability a bit, so they chose to announce the Void Beast's true value. Certainly, they also need a lot of Eternal Realm to hold other Void Beasts for them, so that they can concentrate on dealing with the 7 Fifth Order Void Beasts. Soon, the meeting was over, and nearly 100 Immortal Realm Lords were ready to fully assist the 6 chiefs, help them divide the battlefield, and prevent those Phantom Beasts from rescuing the 7 Fifth Order Phantom Beasts at the critical moment. Soon after, the use value of the Void Beast was also publicized by the 6 chiefs, and a large number of Eternal Realms knew about this secret, even the Bajilo. Bajilo knew, Yi Tian naturally knew it for the first time. The Void Beast can actually enhance the will, and it can also promote the fusion of the will and the body, and enter the Immortal Realm. Yi Tian was shocked. No wonder the Phoenix Lord mainly studies the Void Beast, this value is too high. Moreover, this secret was announced by the 6 chiefs of the highest status in the Lord Alliance, so the degree of credibility is naturally high. I'm still worried that it will be difficult to improve my will in the future, but the nihilistic beast can help me improve my will, but I can't do it if I want to kill a nihilistic beast now. Yi Tian thought to himself. The strength of the Void Beast is comparable to that of the Lord of the Eternal Life, and it is difficult to hurt them. Unexpected, Yi Tian thought of one thing, that is, although the immortal ancestral Fu is very powerful, the nihilistic beast has not studied deeply the immortal ancestral Fu, and only uses its own instinct and its own racial characteristics to display the avatar ability. However, he has the avatar talent of the legendary ancestral level. Although it is difficult to create a legendary eternal skill related to the avatar talent, it is not difficult to create an attack-type ordinary eternal skill developed for the nihility talent. Once he created such an eternal skill, he could inflict certain damage on the Void Beast, and combined with the numerous 8 extreme realms of the Baji building, there was a certain hope of killing a first-order Void Beast. Create such an eternal skill at the fastest speed. Yi Tian began to accelerate the time to understand and create, and the true total attack of the Lord Alliance against the Void Beast would not be carried out so quickly, so there was still a lot of time left for Yi Tian. Yi Tian's avatar talent level is too high, so it is very fast to create ordinary eternal skills. Before long, an eternal skill was created. This eternal skill was named by Yi Tian as the Secret Sword of the Void, which means the ability to penetrate the void. Once this eternal skill is used, it can form an almost illusory little sword, which can hurt the illusory beast. Chapter 1668 Bajilo joins forces to kill the Void Beast. It didn't take long for the Alliance of Lords to prepare to launch a general attack on the Void Beast. Although the Alliance of Lords did not force other powerhouses to participate in the battle this time, many of the 8 extreme realms were ready to participate in the battle. Yi Tian immediately invited other Baji realms in the Baji building, and soon many Baji realms came to the Baji pavilion. Endless Ancestor, you invite, what's the matter with us? An 8-pole realm asked. Yi Tian said directly, join us to kill the Void Beast. At this time, another 8 extreme realm said, Void Beasts are very difficult to kill, and once we encounter a second-order Void Beast, we are afraid that our lives will be in danger. The Inextinguishable Realm Lord pulls the Void Beast behind him, and then the Inextinguishable Realm Lord takes the initiative to kill the first-order Void Beast, and we, the 8 extreme realms, can't kill a Void Beast together. I'm sure to kill the Void Beast, Yi Tian said confidently. Many of the 8 extreme realms present did not believe it. There was an 8-pole realm and he said, the Endless Ancestor, you haven't touched the second boundary barrier yet, you have only become the 8-pole realm soon, why do you let us believe that you have the strength to kill the Void Beast? If I have an eternal skill that can hurt the Void Beast in the virtual state, and the damage caused is not low. Moreover, I will dispatch 3 clones, plus your cooperation, if I find the Void Beast alone, then there is a certain degree of certainty to kill the first-order nihilistic beast. Yi Tian said seriously, really? Some of the 8 extreme realms were moved and asked urgently. So, Yi Tian unleashed his eternal skill, Dongshu's secret sword. When the illusory little sword was displayed, it pierced through the void space-time territory, entered the void area, and even penetrated the void area. Although Yi Tian didn't attack the void beast, but the 8th level people present had a lot of knowledge, and after a little deduction, he confirmed that such an attack was an eternal skill specially developed for the void beast. Endless Ancestor, you can actually create such an eternal skill. The other 8 Pole Realm and Half-Step Eternal Realm were all shocked. If they were to create it, countless eternal years would not be able to create it. However, some of the 8 extreme realms do not have clones, so they cherish their lives very much. However, there are still quite a few Baji realm who are willing to follow Yi Tian to kill the illusory beast, and one of them who has touched the second boundary barrier is Ji Yu Heiyuan ancestor. Ji Yu Heiyuan's ancestor was lucky. He didn't die in the land of Wuyuan before, but he was severely injured, so he has recovered from his recuperation. Originally, he was going to try to attack the Eternal Realm, but this time he heard about the Void Beast. The Void Beast can enhance the will, and even help the will to merge with the body. Although it is more helpful to the Immortal Realm and the Immortal Realm, if the will is improved, the hope of breakthrough will be even greater. Therefore, he also wants to hunt the Nihilistic Beast. But he can't kill any Emptiness Beast alone, and can only rely on Yi Tian. In the end, more than 500 people from the 8 extreme realms were willing to follow Yi Tian to hunt and kill the Void Beast. After everyone was ready, they came to the battlefield in the Void area. The battlefield in the Void area is very large. Yi Tian and the others will naturally not go to the core battlefield, otherwise it will be troublesome if they encounter the second-order Void Beast. Therefore, just mess around on the edge. Yi Tian's 3 copies of the body are scattered, looking for the traces of the Void Beast, and once they are found, they will notify the other 8 extremes. Time passed slowly, and everyone was very careful. Unexpected, Yi Tian found the trace of a first-order nihilistic beast, and immediately notified the other 8-level half-step Eternal Realm powerhouses to come here, and he fought with these first-order nihilistic beasts to prevent the other party from escaping, then track them down just trouble. Therefore, it must be involved. Yi Tian was only involved, and did not immediately use the Eternal Skill Cave Void Secret Sword to prevent the opponent from being afraid and escaping. Soon, the other Baji realms of the Baji building came. Boom, one by one, the 8 extreme realms blocked this void, and large arrays were arranged, just to trap this void beast and hope to kill it. This nihilistic beast sensed the crisis and instinctively released a signal for help. Once there were other nihilistic beasts nearby, it would also instinctively come to support. This is also one of the reasons why the void beast is difficult to kill. Wow, 3 Yi Tian appeared, and began to use the Dongshu secret sword to attack this void beast. At the same time, the other Baji realms who were idle also made their full shots. Even if they could only cause a little damage, the combined damage would be good. For flowers, puff puff, the Sandaodong Void Secret Sword stabbed the Void Beast, causing a certain amount of damage to it, causing the Void Beast to scream, and then other attacks from the 8 extreme realms also landed on it, but most of them the damage is neutralized by the Void State. But even so, the Void Beast's injury aggravated a little. RRR. This ethereal beast kept slapping the formations and the imprisoned void, trying to get rid of it. However, it is impossible for many 8 extreme realms to give it a chance to escape. Not long after, 3 void beasts came over. 308 extremes to stop these nihilistic beasts. Yi Tian ordered. Whoa whoa whoa. 300 people from the 8 extreme realms went to block it, and these 3 nothingness beasts must not be allowed to support this nothingness beast. Soon, the 3 nihilistic beasts were also trapped, unable to destroy Yi Tian's formation or stop Yi Tian. After a while, this nihilistic beast attacked by Yi Tian finally couldn't bear the repeated attacks of the 8 extreme realms, its vitality dissipated, and it was completely killed by bombardment. Immediately, Yi Tian took the corpse of this phantom beast and sent a message to the other 8 extreme realms to evacuate immediately, otherwise there would soon be many phantom beasts here, and if a second-order phantom beast came, it would be a disaster. Whoa whoa whoa, many of the 8 extreme realms quickly evacuated and disappeared quickly. Returning to an unknown space-time territory, many 8 extreme realms began to repair, and at the same time began to divide up the nothingness beast. Yi Tian contributed the most, so naturally more void beast materials were distributed. In a short time, this nihilistic beast was divided up. Everyone, let's continue to hunt the void beast. Yi Tian said. In the following days, under the leadership of Yi Tian, the Baji people of the Baji building hunted and killed one after another nihilistic beast, but there were also waves, encountered a second-order nihilistic beast and lost an extreme realm, but this is nothing, and no one will quit. This day, the 6 chiefs of the Lord Alliance trapped 7 fifth-order nihilistic beasts, and the siege came to the most critical moment. Chapter 1669 The Fifth Order Void Beast Falls. The void area in the center of the battlefield. The large formations surrounded the 7 Fifth Order nihilistic beasts. These large formations almost separated this emptiness area from the outside world, and became the battlefield of the 6 legendary lords and the 7 Fifth Order nihilistic beasts. At this time, the 7 Fifth Order nihilistic beasts did not panic at all. One of the 5th Order nihilistic beasts sneered, "What's the use of your 6 legendary lords arranging these great formations? Do you still want to besiege us? In terms of number, we are more than you. Are you sure how many you have?" Lord Liuyang laughed. Next moment, the second Liuyang lord appeared. "This is a doppelganger." Then, the other 5 legendary lords also revealed their avatars one after another. Among them, the Dark Mist Lord has 2 clones, and the Ice Letter Lord has 3 clones. As a result, now it seems that there are 15 legendary lords in the 827 at once. 15 to 7, naturally the alliance of lords has the upper hand. Separate, the 5th Order nihilistic beast naturally knows about avatars, but these 6 legendary lords have never shown their avatars, making them forget about the avatars. The Lord of Liuyang sneered. "At the beginning, the 6 of us were just clones to besiege a 5th Order nihilistic beast, but I didn't expect your 5th Order nihilistic beast to have the ability to turn into a light of nothingness, and hundreds of millions of light of nothingness escaped into it. In the depths of the void area, we couldn't stop it in time, so we didn't dispatch the main body. But now, these large formations are specially designed to restrain your escape from the light of nothingness, and you can't escape." The 5th Order void beast still did not panic. "HMPH, so what? We don't need to escape at all. It's very difficult for your legendary lord to hurt us, but we can hurt you. Even if you have an advantage in numbers, we are still the winner in the end." 5th Order nihilistic beast full of confidence. Yes, the Lord of the Holy Peak took out something, which changed the expression of the 5th Order nihilistic beast. "That's a bloody spear." But the 5th Order void beast felt the breath of the 5th Order void beast from this blood-colored spear, especially one of the 5th Order void beasts was extremely angry. "Damn legendary lords, you actually forged the remains of my original body into a holy soldier of nothingness." The 5th Order void beast roared in anger. "Whoa whoa." The other legendary lords also took out their own nihilistic holy soldiers, and they were all refined from the remnants of 5th Order nihilistic beasts. Such a void holy soldier can be called a legendary void holy soldier, which can cause a certain amount of damage to the 5th Order void beast. But these are not their trump cards to kill the 5th Order nihilistic beasts. If they only rely on these, they will have an advantage at most, and severely damage these 7 nihilistic beasts. If they want to kill them, I am afraid that it will take an incomparably long time. Unexpected, the Lord of the Holy Peak threw a seed. This seed is their real trump card. I saw the seeds fell and turned into a tree. The tree continued to grow and affected the surrounding void area. The void area was covered by a large amount of land, flowers, trees, and mountains, and it spread at a terrifying speed. Almost in a blink of an eye, a space-time territory was born in this void area, not a false space-time territory, but a real space-time territory containing various innate eternal rules. The void beast has an obvious weakness, that is, it is suitable for the environment of the void area. There are no rules in the void area. If you insist, it is the void rules. The void rules are difficult to perceive, and they are not listed as eternal rules by us. It belongs to the rules of your nihilistic beasts. Once your nihilistic beasts enter the world with a large number of eternal rules, their strength will be suppressed, and even the virtual state will be weakened. Now, we have created this space-time territory, which is equivalent to weakening your strength, or even weakening your strength several times. After the Lord of Shengfeng finished speaking, the 7 Fifth Order nihilistic beasts all panicked. The environment in the void area is suitable for them to fight, but now the world has changed, and their strength has been greatly weakened. Although they can destroy this space-time territory, it takes a certain amount of time, and these legendary lords will not give them this time. Kill. The 6 legendary lords controlled the clones and the main body, holding the legendary nothingness holy soldiers, and attacked the 7 Fifth Order nothingness beasts. The 7 Fifth Order nihilistic beasts felt the fatal crisis, desperate to tear this place apart, and escaped. An amazing battle has begun. Outside the big array, a large number of Immortal Realm lords formed a protective circle here, blocking other phantom beasts from rescuing 7 Fifth Order phantom beasts, and delaying the 6th Congress. And all of this has nothing to do with Yi Tian. He is currently unable to participate in such a big battle. He can only take the Baji realm of the Baji building to kill some more First Order nihilistic beasts, that's all. Years have passed, and the battle between the space-time territory and the Void Beast is gradually coming to an end. This day, the battlefield where the legendary lords of the League of Lords suppressed the 7 Fifth-Order nihilistic beasts, those great formations and the created space-time territory were still torn apart by the 7 Fifth-Order nihilistic beasts, but the Fifth-Order nihilistic beast was extremely miserable. 2 Fifth-Order nothingness beasts were killed, and other Fifth-Order nothingness beasts were severely injured. At the moment of escaping, the 5 surviving Fifth-Order nihilistic beasts immediately exerted the ability of the light of nihility, their bodies turned into billions of nihilistic lights, countless obstacles of the nihilistic area, and they merged into the rules of nihility. The speed that surpassed everything escaped into the depths of the void area. There is no way for the legendary lord to stop it, but he can try his best to stop it, leaving more remnants of the Fifth-Order void beast. After the Fifth-Order nihilistic beasts escaped, the legendary lords began to attack the 3rd and 4th-Order nihilistic beasts. I saw Lord Liu Yong penetrated into the void area, caught a 4th-Order void beast, and killed it in a short time. With the action of the 6 legendary lords, the 3rd and 4th-Order nihilistic beasts fell one by one, and even escaping was an extravagant hope. The other immortal lords and immortal lords began to hunt and kill the 1st-Order nihilistic beasts, which could end the battle faster and gain more at the same time. It's been a few years again, the nihilistic beasts have almost been emptied, and there is no depth of beans. The legendary lords did not dare to hunt down into the depths of the void area, so this war ended like this. The surviving eternal realm has gained a lot, and the Bajilo has also gained a lot. At least for them, being able to harvest some void beast materials is a huge gain. If the 1st-Order void beast could not be found, the temporary team of Yi Tian was disbanded. Subsequently, Yi Tian began to organize his harvest. If the materials of these phantom beasts are accumulated, it is roughly equivalent to all the materials of 3 phantom beasts. If he shoots alone, 1 phantom beast cannot be killed, let alone 3. It can be said that this time the harvest was great. It's time to use the void beast material to improve your strength. Yi Tian muttered. Chapter 1670 Attack the second boundary barrier. The material of the void beast can enhance the will, can also be used to refine the void holy soldier, and can even fuse the will and the body, but he is still half-step eternal, so the fusion of the will and the body is still very far away from him. And refining the void holy soldier is not very helpful to him, so he only wants to use the material of the void beast to improve his will. Among the secrets revealed by the 6 chiefs, there is naturally a specific method of how to temper and enhance the will. First, it is necessary to extract the essence of nothingness from the material of the nothingness beast, and then integrate the will into the essence of nothingness, and the power in the essence of nothingness will disappear. Incorporating into the will is equivalent to tempering and enhancing the will. Subsequently, Yi Tian began to refine the material of the void beast, and he extracted the essence of nothingness drop by drop. Then the main body uses the essence of nothingness to refine and enhance his will. As time goes by, his will becomes stronger and stronger, and the world of will has been perfected by him again and again. Naturally, more and more worlds of will are condensed. Unconsciously, his will world has gathered 9,000, and there are still many nihilistic essences. At this speed, he has the hope of condensing 10,000 will worlds, so that the eternal will transforms to the 3rd order. 929,100 will worlds. 9,200 will worlds. 9,300 will worlds. In the blink of an eye, several eternity years have passed. After countless attempts, countless copies of the body have been broken, and the secret technique of the world of will has been perfected step by step, and finally Yi Tian has successfully condensed into 9,999 worlds of will. At this time, he only needs to condense a world of will, the eternal will transform, and his eternal will reach the 3rd order. After many attempts, the 10,000th will world was finally opened up by Yi Tian. Boom! The 10,000 will worlds in the body are connected with each other, causing a huge qualitative change. The will is transforming and improving, making Yi Tian's will undergo a huge transition and transformation. After a long time, the transformation was complete. Now, Yi Tian's will is more than 10 times stronger than before, and the manipulation of his body is far more than before, enough to exert his strength far beyond the previous. In the dark, Yi Tian has already touched the second boundary barrier. But if he really fights, he will definitely be able to defeat Lord Ji Yuhi, because his will has reached the 3rd rank, and the attack of will is enough to make Lord Ji Yuhi of the 8 extreme realm unable to exert his full strength. After touching the second boundary barrier, Yi Tian's goal was to hit the Juji realm. At present, his half-step eternal power can continue to be compressed, and if he creates a legendary eternal skill, his strength will increase greatly, so there is a great possibility to break the second boundary barrier. Now, he has already traded many eternal compression secret techniques from other 8 extreme realms, and through his innate understanding and repeated experiments, he has already perfected the stacked secret technique to the limit that can be compressed to 80 times. Of course, this is a theoretical limit, not really achievable. But Yi Tian still has great hope to compress the half-step eternal power to 40 times, and then cooperate with the legendary eternal skill. He does not believe that he cannot break the second boundary barrier. In the following years, Yi Tian compressed half-step eternal power while creating legendary eternal skills. The first legendary eternal skill he wants to create is naturally a legendary eternal skill related to the Void Legendary Ancestor, which is enough to enhance his life-saving ability. Since there is only hope of breaking through to the Juji realm only in the Source Sea, Yi Tian only left a copy of the body in the space-time domain of the 8-pole building, and the other copies of the body are in the dark forbidden zone of the Source Sea, helping the body to improve the strength together. Eternal years have passed, and Yi Tian's half-step eternal power has become more and more condensed. Moreover, Yi Tian's legendary eternal skill was finally created on this day. This time, the legendary eternal skill created by Yi Tian is called the Void Real Body. Once the Void Real Body is activated, the body will be in a virtual state, and it is even more completely blurred than the ordinary Void Beast, as if it does not exist in the rules, completely turned into nothingness. It can be said that once the real body of nothingness is displayed, even the Lord of the Eternal Life will not be able to hurt him in the slightest. However, the Immortal Realm Lord can still hurt him, but it is somewhat difficult to kill him, unless the top unextinguishable Realm Lord makes a move. After creating the real body of nothingness, Yi Tian clearly felt that the second boundary barrier trembled, but in the end he still did not break the second boundary barrier. Obviously, he needs to continue to improve his strength. So, Yi Tian started to create legendary eternal skills related to the Power Legend Ancestry. After 10 eternity years, Yi Tian finally created the second legendary eternal skill, Eternal Ji Dao Fist. This is an eternal skill that exerts power to the extreme. It ranks among the legendary eternal skills and can completely explode Yi Tian's power. Compared with the real body of nothingness, the Eternal Extreme Dao Fist can greatly improve his strength. After he created the Eternal Extreme Dao Fist, the second boundary barrier appeared cracks, as if by increasing some of his strength, he could completely break this boundary barrier. It's really hard to break the second boundary barrier. I have upgraded the Eternal Will to the 3rd order, and created 2 legendary eternal skills, but I still haven't broken the second boundary barrier. No wonder there are so many 8 extremes. Break the second boundary barrier. Yi Tian muttered. No way, he can only continue to create legendary eternal skills. This time, 827 wants to create a defensive legendary eternal skill. If it cooperates with the real body of nothingness, the life-saving ability will be stronger, and the combat power will naturally be stronger. About 10 eternity years later, a defense legendary eternal skill was created by Yi Tian, and he named it Eternal Wall. The Eternal Wall is equivalent to forming an invisible defensive barrier around it. It is invisible to the naked eye, but its defensive power is extremely terrifying. Not only can it protect against ordinary attacks, it can even defend against will attacks. After the creation of the legendary eternal skill of the Eternal Wall, the cracks in the second boundary barrier became more and more. Let's not create a legendary eternal skill first. First compress the half-step eternal power to 40 times, and then create a speed-class legendary eternal skill. There is absolutely hope to break the shackles in one fell swoop and be promoted to the 9-pole realm half-step eternal realm. Yi Tian planned. In this way, he will strive to compress his half-step eternal power in the next eternity years, making the half-step eternal power closer and closer to the real eternal power. 10 eternal years, 20 eternal years, 30 eternal years. Before you know it, 100 eternal years have passed. At this time, Yi Tian's half-step eternal power was finally compressed to 40 times, and the second boundary barrier was almost completely shattered. Chapter 1671 Breakthrough and become a half-step eternal realm of Juji realm. Next, create a legendary eternal skill of speed. 1 inch. Yi Tian was very excited inside. He knew very well that once he created a speed-type legendary eternal skill, he would definitely be able to smash the second boundary barrier and completely step into the half-step eternal realm level of Juji realm. Before you know it, another 10 eternity years have passed. This day, the legendary eternal skill of speed was finally created by Yi Tian. This speed-class legendary eternal skill was named Wujian by Yi Tian, which means that for him, the distance has no meaning and represents the ultimate speed. With the creation of the uninterrupted eternal technique, Yi Tian's strength has increased a lot, and the second boundary barrier has finally begun to be completely shattered. Boom! The second boundary barrier was shattered, and a source void completely composed of the source of the innate eternal rules appeared in Yi Tian's perception. Now, Yi Tian's will has turned into a giant sitting in this void of origin, comprehending this endless source of innate eternal rules all the time, and comprehending it here, as if everything is easy to comprehend. The origin of all Tao is very clear, any doubts of Yi Tian can be answered here. And in the space-time territory, there is no sense of the original void composed of the innate eternal rules. At this moment, Yi Tian knew why he couldn't break through to the Juji realm in the space-time territory, so he couldn't realize the innate eternal rule origin void in the space-time territory, which could only be realized in the source sea. There seems to be no time limit here. Yi Tian does not know how long he has been enlightened. Until a certain moment, he came out of the void of origin. Now, he has already realized the true extreme of the innate eternal rules, far from being comparable to the 8 extreme realm, and can be integrated with the innate source rules at any time, thereby being promoted to the eternal realm. But he did not attack the eternal realm, just like the Juji realm in the Baji building. The Juji realm can actually fuse the body and the will, similar to the immortal realm hitting the immortal realm. Yi Tian was a little surprised by this. Once the will and the body are more than 10% fused, the immortal realm can break through to become the immortal realm, and the same is true for the Juji realm territory. Moreover, the physical body of the Juji realm is far less powerful than the indestructible realm, and the body has not been completely integrated with the innate eternal rules, so it is easier to integrate the will. Therefore, it is easier to integrate the will in the 9 extremes realm. This is also the reason why the Juji realm is not in a hurry to break through. Once you break through in advance, even if you become a half-step immortal realm, it will take a long time to become a real immortal realm. This is a very stupid behavior. After becoming the Juji realm, the strength has not changed qualitatively, but after becoming the Juji realm, the strength will have a huge improvement period. However, after the promotion period has passed, it is difficult to improve the strength, and can only take the road of fusion of wills. The fusion of wills will also improve the strength. Therefore, the Juji realm that has really grown up will be many times stronger than the 8-pole realm, but the Juji realm that has just broken through is not so powerful. After breaking through to the 9 extremes realm, Yi Tian's will has improved a lot, and he can continue to cultivate the world of will and open up worlds of will. Moreover, his body can continue to grow, and the half-step eternal power can continue to be compressed, and it is very easy to compress. Years passed slowly. Yi Tian's half-step eternal power has been easily compressed to the level of 80 times, and it can continue to be compressed. The layered secret technique is useless to Yi Tian, but relying on the mastery of the innate eternal rules, compressing the half-step eternal power is too simple for him. Not only that, Yi Tian's body was also much stronger than when he just broke through, but it also consumed almost all of his resources. Afterwards, Yi Tian created another legendary eternal skill to make his strength even stronger. In the blink of an eye, 1,000 eternal years have passed. Such a long period of time had completely passed Yi Tian's ascension period. At this moment, Yi Tian's will world has opened up 30,000, and his third-order eternal will is probably stronger than many immortal lords. In addition, Yi Tian has also begun to fuse his will, but it is indeed very difficult to fuse his will. He has only 1/10,000th of his body fused with his will, and there is still a long way to go before he can fuse more than 10% of his body. Of course, there is also a shortcut to the fusion of will, that is, the nihilistic beast. The material of the void beast can fuse the will, but he used the material of the void beast to improve the will, but it is also to raise the eternal will to the third order, so it is not a waste. Today, there is still a little bit of those nihilistic beast materials, but the effect is not very big. If you want to fuse body and will by more than 10%, you must have a lot of nihilistic beast materials. However, all the space-time territories are aware of the preciousness of void beast materials, and no one is willing to trade void beast materials, unless the 6 legendary lords have little demand for void beast materials, but others will not sell them, or give them to their families. Or loyal subordinates are also a good choice. Perhaps you can ask the 9-pole realm in the Baji building, the star-watching sword ancestor. The star-watching swordsman is in the depths of the Baji building, but usually no one will disturb him. Last time, the star-gazing swordsman also participated in the hunt for the void beast, but not with Yi Tian and the others. After all, as the existence of the Juji realm, the stargazing swordsman is qualified to join forces with some immortal realm lords to surround and kill the void beast. It can be said that the circle of the stargazing swordsman has reached the immortal realm or even the immortal realm, and will not have much negotiation with those Bajilo half-step eternal realm. This day, Yi Tian's cloned body entered the 8 Extremes building and immediately announced that he had entered the 9 Extremes realm. This news quickly detonated the entire Baji building and shocked the other Baji realms. True Yang Saint Ancestor arrived at the first time, and said in shock, "Endless Ancestor, you actually broke through to the 9 Extremes realm." The other 8 Extremes came one by one, felt the aura of the 9 Extremes on Yi Tian, Qian Li Jiao, and knew that Yi Tian did not lie. It's only been over 1,000 eternity years, Yi Tian has broken the second boundary barrier. Isn't the speed of this breakthrough too fast? Lord Ji he was lucky to break through to the Lord of the Immortal Realm, and the Endless Ancestors broke through to become the half-step eternal realm of the Juji realm. In the past 1,000 years of eternity, 2 major things happened in our Baji building. And Baji Jing said with emotion, and his tone was full of envy. Whether it is to become the eternal realm, or to become the Juji realm, it is the goal of their life. At this moment, a figure filled with endless kendo rules came out from the depths of the Baji building. "I have seen the stargazing swordsman." The other 8 poles fought separately. "Congratulations to the endless ancestor." The stargazing swordsman congratulated. Subsequently, Yi Tian and the star-watching sword ancestor entered a void in the depths of the Baji building, and the two sat down and chatted. Chapter 1672 There is really no legendary tower. Open black lens bracket seeking full order close black lens bracket. After Yi Tian sat down with the star-watching sword ancestor, Yi Tian began to communicate with the star-watching sword master, which was beneficial to both parties. Soon, both sides have gained something from their own, such as Yi Tian's research on the will. The star-watching sword ancestor is not comparable. After all, Yi Tian has replicated his body and carried out countless experiments, thereby cultivating the secret art of the world of will. Nature has an unimaginable perception of will. In addition, Yi Tian's perception of eternal skills is far from comparable to the stargazing swordsman. However, star-watching sword ancestor surpassed Yi Tian in the half-step eternal force compression and the development of the eternal body, which benefited Yi Tian a lot. Guanxing Jianzu, I have now passed through the ascension period of the Juji realm, and now I want to improve the fusion of the will and the body, but it is difficult to improve. Besides using the material of the void beast, is there any other way to improve the degree of fusion? Yi Tian asked sincerely. Naturally there is, said the stargazing swordsman. Actually, I didn't know that the material of the void beast can help the body and the will to fuse. In the past, there were 2 ways to accelerate the fusion of the body and the will. One way is to use some rare resources to speed up the fusion of will and body, but such resources are too rare, and once they appear, those immortal lords will snatch them. The second way is to break through the legend tower. Is there really no legendary tower? 827. Yi Tian heard about such a place for the first time, so he was a little puzzled. Immediately, the stargazing swordsman said, "The legendary Tower of Junwu is one of the most mysterious places in the space-time territory. It is located in a ruin and is only open to the eternal realm above the immortal realm, but the Juji realm is also eligible to enter. Among them, because the Juji realm can step into the eternal realm at any time, and its combat power is not weaker than the general indestructible realm, it is also allowed to enter the Junwu Legend Tower. The Junwu Legend Tower has a total of 99 floors, and each time it passes through one at the same level, you can get the opportunity to enter the realm of no legends to practice, and the real no legends have a mysterious sacred tree, the real tree without traces of Taoism. The tree without traces of real Taoism can make our will and body quickly merge. If we have been cultivating on the edge of the tree without traces, there is even hope that we will enter the realm of legendary lords. Unfortunately, the time we can cultivate is too short. At present, I have only reached the 9th floor and obtained dozens of robbery yuan, comprehension time. There is no legend that the tower is so mysterious." Yi Tian was quite surprised, and at the same time had some expectations, and wanted to enter and take a look. In the absence of nihilistic beast materials, now Junwuzhuan CJFI said that the tower is a treasure place where he can quickly promote the fusion of body and will. The ruins of the true no legend tower were blocked by the alliance of lords layer by layer. Therefore, no lord dared to forcibly break into the ruins in private, otherwise he would be courting death. Yi Tian doesn't need any credentials either. With his Juji realm's cultivation base, he can go directly and won't be intercepted. And the location of the ruins was also shared with Yi Tian by the star-watching sword ancestor. Not long after, Yi Tian left the Baji building and went directly to the ruins where the Junwu Legend Pagoda was located. Formation. Yi Tian sensed an incomparably huge formation in the void area, and this formation directly enveloped this area. Obviously, this is a big formation arranged by the Lord Alliance, in order to hide this ruin. Yi Tian passed through this formation and sensed the wills that crossed the void area to investigate here, but these wills did not stay on him. If it was an 8-pole realm, it would probably cause the suppression of these wills. Soon, Yi Tian came to the location of the ruins. This is the ruins. Yi Tian saw a shattered void area. The key point was that this area was so broken that the repairability of the void area could not restore this void area. You must know that even if the battle between the legendary lord and the 5th order void beast, the void area was completely shattered, the void area could be repaired in a short period of time. But it can't be recovered in this way. It can be seen from here that this relic is too mysterious. In the shattered void area, countless building fragments filled the air, but there were still many intact buildings. In the core area, a quaint tower stands there. If Yi Tian hadn't guessed, that tower would be the true no-legendary tower. He walked into the ruins, and a terrifying force acted on him, as if to smash his body. Yi Tian resisted with all his strength, and then he resisted. I finally know why only the Juji realm and the eternal realm above the immortal realm are allowed to enter here. Yi Tian suddenly realized, if the 8 extreme realm or eternal life realm dares to come here, it will not be able to stop the suppression here, and the opportunity of this ruin is indeed too precious. If it is not restricted, I am afraid that many eternal life realm lords or 8 extreme realm will venture here. Therefore, the Federation of Lords will make such a restriction. Moreover, it is useless to enter the true legend pagoda from the 8 extreme realm and eternal life realm. They also involve the degree of fusion of will and body, and with their strength, it is difficult to pass through many layers of towers. Yi Tian walked in this ruin, as if the surrounding void was like countless broken mirrors, and his body was walking in such a broken void, and from time to time it was subjected to the impact of the void fragments. After a long time, he came to the Junwu Legend Tower. After entering here, the suppression on his body disappeared. At least there is no legend that the void inside the tower is normal, otherwise there is no way to break through the tower. Wow! Yi Tian entered the True No Legend Pagoda, and soon entered the first floor of the True No Legend Pagoda. There are 5 eternal realms wearing black armor in the True Legend Pagoda, and their cultivation bases are all ordinary eternal realms, but they give people a very unusual feeling. They cooperated perfectly, but their strength was still far from Yi Tian. Soon, Yi Tian defeated them. After all, these eternal realms are not real eternal realms. Once their bodies are defeated, they will not be able to recover. Otherwise, Yi Tian will have to spend a little effort to solve them. 2nd floor, the 3rd floor, 4th floor. Yi Tian broke through all the way, until he reached the 7th floor, he was under pressure. There are still only 3 immortal lords on the 7th floor, but they have reached the pinnacle of immortality lords, and they have also mastered the will attack method, not the ordinary will attack method, but the will eternal skill. This is an eternal skill that Yi Tian has never seen before. Chapter 1673 Break through the 9th floor. Puff. A spear pierced towards Yi Tian, the void was directly pierced, and even Yi Tian's defense eternal skill was unable to resist. This spear stabbed directly on Yi Tian's body, but at the critical moment Yi Tian casts the legendary defense eternal skill, Eternal Wall. This spear attacked on the eternal wall, which cancelled most of the attacking power, and Yi Tian performed the legendary eternal skill in the virtual state, the void true body, so he was not injured. The eternal skill of will. This eternal skill contains a lot of willpower, as well as a part of eternity and the power of innate eternal rules. After many combinations, the willpower attack is based on willpower eternal skills. Yi Tian has heard about the eternal skill of will, but it belongs to the legendary eternal skill, and he has never heard of anyone creating the eternal skill of will. Although many eternal realms have researched a lot on will and developed a lot of will secret techniques, they are only secret techniques, not eternal techniques, and their power is not the same as eternal techniques. Ordinary will eternal skills have surpassed the general top eternal skills in terms of threat, and are even second only to legendary eternal skills. After all, the eternal realm of the space-time territory really does not have a particularly good way to target the eternal skills of will. Puff puff. The spears transformed from the eternal skills of the will run through Yi Tian. Yi Tian constantly resists these eternal skills of the will, and uses the legendary eternal skills such as the eternal pole fist to counterattack. Boom! Yi Tian and the 3 immortal lords kept fighting, and it took a lot of time to defeat them one by one. Subsequently, Yi Tian came to the 8th floor. The 3 eternal realm lords on the 8th floor are not eternal life realm, but immortal realm, and all have mastered the means of eternal will technology. This fight has been going on for many years before Yi Tian defeated the 3 indestructible realm lords, and he was also not lightly injured. Finally, Yi Tian also came to the 9th floor. Guanxing Jianzhu has only passed the 9th floor, I'm afraid I won't be able to get through the 9th floor. Yi Tian guessed. As predicted, not long after the battle, Yi Tian was hanged by the 3 eternal realms on the 9th floor. Even though his life-saving ability was strong, when his endless eternal body was attacking the will, the life-saving ability had little effect. When he was seriously injured, he was judged as a failure by the True Legend Tower and moved out. So far, Yi Tian's current record is the 8th floor of the True Legend Pagoda. The first 5 floors of Junwu Legend Pagoda, every time one passes through one floor, one can get 1 robbery and enlightenment time in Junwu Legend. From the 6th floor to the 10th floor, each time you pass through one, you can obtain the 5 robbery yuan cultivation time of the Legend of Nothingness. Now, Yi Tian has passed the 8th floor and obtained 20 robbery yuan cultivation time. Just after breaking into the tower, Yi Tian was very interested in this place without legends, so he let the Tower of True Legends teleport himself to the place without legends. Yi Tian's body disappeared, and he came to a mysterious void in an instant. There is no legend. Come in. Yi Tian entered the land of no legends, and the first time he entered, he felt the extraordinary here. There is a special will energy here, which is constantly promoting the fusion of his body and will. In the distance, a majestic sacred tree sits there. Yi Tian wanted to fly to this holy tree, but after flying for a long time, he still couldn't fly to the position of that holy tree, and he didn't fly too far, as if there was a problem with the distance of this piece of void. Unexpected, a voice entered his ears. No need to try, no one can touch this tree with no trace of Taoism. Even 6 legendary lords have tried it. No matter how they fly, they can't fly past. We even doubt whether this tree without trace of real Taoism is real existence. But in any case, if we cultivate here, we can indeed accelerate the fusion of will and body. It was an immortal who was sent to Yi Tian. Thank you for your reminder. Yi Tian thanked. The other party did not say much, but continued to practice. So, Yi Tian found a position at will and began to retreat and practice. Compared with other eternal realms that entered here, Yi Tian's only advantage is that he can constantly use clones to verify the fusion of will and body, so the effect and speed of fusion must be much faster than other eternal realms. In the following days, Yi Tian will work hard to study the fusion of will and body, so that this opportunity will not be wasted. Time passed slowly, and 1 robbery year passed by. In the realm of no legends, there are not many eternal realms. After all, many eternal realms above the indestructible realm have almost used up their time for comprehension and cultivation, and it is too difficult to improve their strength and pass the next level. For flowers, therefore, there are usually not many eternal realms here, and before you know it, several eternal realms left here, leaving only 3 eternal realms and Yi Tian, the 9-pole realm half-step eternal realm, who is still here to comprehend and cultivate. Finally, all the other eternal realms left, and only Yi Tian was left. It was not until a few more tribulations passed before 2 eternal realms came. Time is up. Yi Tian opened his eyes, and in a blink of an eye, there was no legend that he moved him out. However, Yi Tian did not leave the Junwu Legend Pagoda, but prepared to continue to break into the pagoda. Wow! Yi Tian entered the 9th floor of the True Wu Legend Pagoda, and this time he had great confidence to pass through the 9th floor of the True Wu Legend Pagoda. Boom! Yi Tian fought with the 3 eternal realms on the 9th floor of the legendary tower, showing a far more powerful strength than before. During these 20 robbery origins that were cultivated without legend, Yi Tian's will and body fusion degree soared a lot. Before, his fusion degree was only 1/10,000th, but now it is close to 10%. In terms of the degree of fusion of will and body, I am afraid that even the star-watching sword ancestor is not as good as him. If he comprehends 5 more robbery yuan, he has the hope of raising the fusion degree of body and will to more than 10%. In that case, if he chooses to break through to the eternal realm, his cultivation will immediately break through to the immortal realm. Kill. Yi Tian showed a powerful legendary eternal skill. No matter how powerful the opponent's will eternal skill is, he will not be able to beat him. The increase in the degree of fusion of will and body has brought his own physical strength to an unimaginable level, and even the half-step eternal power has skyrocketed. Therefore, he is completely slaughtering these 3 eternal realms. Eternal Fist. Yi Tian smashed the body of an eternal realm with one punch, and the opponent immediately collapsed. After that, he quickly solved the other 2 eternal realms and broke through the 9th floor. Next, Yi Tian wanted to pass the 10th floor, but his strength was still slightly inferior, which led to his failure to pass the level. Yi Tian felt that if he wanted to pass the 10th floor, he would probably need to raise his will and body to more than 10% and usher in a small transformation before he could hope to pass the 10th floor. After passing through the 10th floor, Yi Tian immediately entered the land of no legends. Chapter 1674 An Unreachable Sword. After entering the land of no legends, Yi Tian continued to practice. With the passage of time, the degree of fusion of his will and body became higher and higher, getting closer and closer to becoming a success. Finally, after the 4th robbery, Yi Tian's will and body merged to 10%. It was at this moment that Yi Tian's body began to undergo qualitative changes. Boom! Every particle on Yi Tian's body began to transform, becoming more and more powerful, and countless source energies from the outside poured into his body, making his body stronger and stronger. Moreover, Yi Tian's will has also improved a lot. After a long time, Yi Tian's transformation was completed. At this time, he was much stronger than before. Now, if he were to attack the Eternal Realm, he would become the Immortal Realm Lord after the breakthrough. But Yi Tian is not in a hurry to break through. After all, once he has broken through to the Immortal Realm, it will be much more difficult to continue to integrate his will and body than the current, 827, so he doesn't need to rush to make a breakthrough. Step into the Eternal Realm and stay for a few more years. Anyway, his lifespan is infinite, unlike those half-step Eternal Realms in the space-time territory, whose lifespan limit is 10 million eternal years, so they will not stay in half-step Eternal Realm like this, and will definitely be promoted to Eternal Realm earlier. Another robbery year passed. Yi Tian came out without a legend. This time, he began to break into the 10th floor of Junwu Legend Tower. Once he crosses this level, he will get 10 robbery yuan cultivation time, which is a huge temptation for him. 10th floor. Yi Tian fought with the 3 Eternal Realm opponents, and their battles shook the 10th layer of the void. The 3 Eternal Realms on the 10th floor are indeed very powerful, and there will be more than one will Eternal skill, but Yi Tian's strength is also extremely powerful, and he has forcibly resisted these 3 Eternal Realms. Unexpected. These 3 Eternal Realms jointly performed a will Eternal skill. If it is a real Eternal Realm, naturally it cannot do this, but these Eternal Realms are just condensed from the true No Legend Tower, so they can do whatever they want. A will void ball appeared in the void, wrapping Yi Tian in it. Immediately, the void ball of will began to compress, the inner void continued to collapse, and the eternal rules were shattering, unable to withstand the power of the void ball of will. Such an eternal skill of will blocked all Yi Tian's paths and could not be avoided at all. Nothingness. Eternal fist. Yi Tian wanted to shatter this void ball of will regardless of the injury. Boom. The void ball of will cracked continuously, but Yi Tian also had a lot of will injuries on his body. Sudden, the will void ball burst open, and directly smashed this area into nothingness. In the twisted and broken nothingness, Yi Tian walked out, covered in blood. If it weren't for the nothingness, he really couldn't stop it. It has to be said that the will eternal skill jointly displayed by these 3 eternal realms is indeed terrifying. However, Yi Tian has already known about their move, so he has a countermeasure, and will not give you another chance to join forces. Next, Yi Tian fought with the 3 Eternal Realm at an extremely fast speed, and exerted the might of the legendary eternal skill of Wuji. Immediately, the 3 Eternal Realms couldn't join forces to cast the Will Void Ball. Once they were about to cast it, Yi Tian interrupted it by casting the unbounded legendary eternal skill. The battle continued like this, until after a long time, Yi Tian consumed the 3 Eternal Realm to death one by one, past the 10th floor, and he also suffered heavy injuries. If I encounter such 3 Eternal Realms in the outside world, I will definitely die. Yi Tian thought to himself. After all, there is really no Eternal Realm condensed by the Legend Tower, and there is no real Eternal Realm's resilience. Otherwise, he would not be able to consume these 3 Eternal Realms. But this is the breakthrough of Junwu Legend Pagoda. If the Eternal Realm here can be restored, it will be too difficult to pass the 10th floor, at least he is far from being able to do it. This time, after obtaining 10 robbery yuan of cultivation time, Yi Tian did not keep it, and entered the realm of no legend, and continued to improve the fusion of will and body. In a flash, another 10 robbery years passed. At this time, the fusion of his will and body has improved a bit, but it is far from the level of qualitative change, and the increase in strength is not too large. He went to the 11th floor, but unfortunately failed. Therefore, in a short period of time, he was unable to break through the 11th floor. In addition to the fact that there is no legendary tower, this ruin is not without other opportunities. Through the chat with the stargazing swordsman, he also knew that there is an opportunity here, but not every eternal realm can obtain benefits, so not many eternal realms pay attention to it. Wow! Yi Tian walked in the broken void of the ruins, and soon came to a broken palace of the ruins. After entering this palace, he came to a special place. Here, there are many immortal realms, and there is even a legendary lord, the Lord of Ice Letter. Yi Tian handed over, but did not speak, so as not to disturb them. In fact, these immortal realms and the legendary lord, Lord Binghan, did not care about his arrival, and were still silently comprehending and practicing. Yi Tian's eyes were quickly attracted by a sword. In the void, there is a silver long sword. It looks illusory, but it is very real. If you stare at it carefully, you seem to see a world of kendo that spreads endlessly. Every strand of sword energy seems to be able to smash an immortal environment exists. Compared with the kendo of this long sword, the kendo of one of the many great avenues that Yi Tian has comprehended is not worth mentioning at all. He has also comprehended the innate eternal kendo rules, but compared with the kendo aura here, it is simply too low level. It exists in the source of endless time and space, exists in any world, it seems to be very close, and it does not seem to be in this space and time, not in the territory of time and space. Yi Tian's will wants to touch this sword, but the will travels through time and space, but it cannot be reached, as if the will never reach the position of the sword. It turns out to be the same as the true Daomark tree, it can't be touched. Yi Tian was quite surprised. He had heard from the star-watching sword master that there was such a sword here, and the star-watching sword master had been comprehending here, but he did not know that the sword could not be touched. That's right, if you can touch it, the 6 legendary lords will take it away. Yi Tian thought to himself. Although kendo is not Yi Tian's main 5.8 way, it is also a part of the endless way, so it is also beneficial for him to comprehend here. However, Yi Tian came here not to comprehend kendo, but to create a more powerful eternal compression technique. The star-watching sword master said that this sword can affect the power of eternity, and it can also affect the power of half-step eternity. Its kendo aura is too condensed, far beyond the power of eternity, so many eternal realms try to understand the aura of kendo, and create a secret method through this sword to compress the eternal force or half-step eternal force in the body. In fact, quite a few people did. For example, the 6 legendary lords have created a very powerful eternal compression technique, but ordinary people cannot obtain it. Although Yi Tian has also created the eternal compression secret technique that can compress 80 times, it is useless to him now. Therefore, he wants to use this sword to create a more powerful eternal compression technique. Chapter 1675 Will Eternal Skill, Another Way. Yi Tian found a spare place to sit cross-legged and silently comprehend the kendo aura here. The kendo aura here also seems to be touched but cannot really be captured, and only the eternal will can a little comprehend a little kendo aura, so for many eternal realms, there is no long-term comprehension and there is not much benefit at all. Therefore, many eternal realms send a clone or body to enlighten here, so as not to delay their own practice. Those eternal realms without avatars have no time to waste here. Compared with other eternal realms, Yi Tian's biggest advantage is his talent. His talent is far superior to other eternal realms, and he even has legendary ancestors, and the 6 legendary lords do not have legendary ancestors. Therefore, Yi Tian can use this sword to obtain more benefits, and the speed of comprehension is faster, far from being comparable to other eternal realm lords. In the following years, Yi Tian's cloned body was cultivated here. For him, there is no doubt that the current replica body and the main body, the improvement of one body is equal to the improvement of other bodies. Time passed slowly. Yi Tian 29 kept comprehending the kendo aura here, and gradually gained something, and then combined the stacking secret technique and other eternal compression secret techniques, and then slowly tried to create a higher level of eternal compression according to his own situation. Occult. Although the half-step eternal power compression has a limit, Yi Tian has not reached the limit yet, far from reaching the limit. The kendo aura here is too terrifying. Just comprehending a little bit is like seeing a world at another level. If you realize this kendo aura, you will benefit a lot. Yi Tian couldn't help sighing. Eternal years passed by. Yi Tian gradually created a good eternal compression secret technique. This eternal compression secret technique is to imitate the kendo aura here, and compress the half-step eternal power inside the body with a similar kendo aura, so the compression effect is far superior to the stacking secret technique. At the beginning, this secret technique was just a prototype, but it was gradually perfected by Yi Tian. In the process of perfection, Yi Tian shattered and copied his body many times, but the result was still successful. He named this eternal compression technique the sword compression technique. According to Yi Tian's estimation, the sword pressing secret technique can compress the half-step eternal power by about 200 times, and he estimates that 200 times is still not the limit, but with his current attainments, he can only create it to this extent. Unless he spends endless long years, he can create a better eternal compression technique, but it is not necessary. After the sword-pressing secret technique was created, Yi Tian's body began to practice the sword-pressing secret technique, compressing the half-step eternal power in his body. Boom! An illusory sword shadow appeared above Yi Tian's head, and projected onto countless particles inside the body. Those half-step eternal powers seemed to be suppressed by endless sword shadows, like a mass of water being compressed into a drop of water. Kaka kaka, the half-step eternal power in the body was suppressed and compressed by the sword shadow, causing constant qualitative changes in a special way, becoming a more condensed half-step eternal power. During this process, Yi Tian's body also endured unimaginable pressure. However, Yi Tian has already perfected this secret technique, so most of this pressure is only aimed at half-step eternal power, which is not a big burden on the body, can be endured, and even has a certain effect of tempering the body. After a long time, the half-step eternal power in Yi Tian's body has reached a very strong level. 90, 95 times, 100, 105 times. When the half-step eternal power is compressed to more than 120 times, the speed is much slower, but after spending nearly 100 eternal years, Yi Tian's half-step eternal power is still compressed to 150 times, and at this time the sword presses the secret the technique was also perfected by him to the extent that it could finally be compressed to 120 times. The half-step eternal power has been compressed to this level, and Yi Tian's strength has also improved a lot. But Yi Tian is very clear, even so, his strength has not reached a qualitative change, and it is still somewhat difficult to break through the 11th floor of the True Wu Legend Pagoda. Soon after, he went to experiment. In the end, they still lost, and there are still some gaps in the distance to the 11th floor. These gaps are difficult to overcome by compressing the power of eternity in the body half a step. At this time, Yi Tian thought of the eternal will technique. His will is actually very strong, and now he has opened up more than 30,000 will worlds, which are relatively powerful among the third-order eternal wills. But the will is strong, but without an eternal will, it is difficult to fully exert the advantages of the will. If I can create an eternal skill of will, my strength will definitely be transformed. Yi Tian thought to himself. This day, Yi Tian chatted with the stargazing swordsman about the knowledge of the eternal will. Guanxing Jianzu, what do you think of the eternal will skill? Yi Tian asked. It's very powerful and has unlimited potential, said the stargazing swordsman. Do you think we have any hope of creating the will eternal technique? Yi Tian asked again. It's too difficult. The star-watching sword ancestor shook his head. I know that the inexhaustible ancestor wants to create an eternal skill of will, and so do I, the other eternal realms above the indestructible realm, and even the 6 legendary lords. But, for countless eternity years, everyone has failed. Did none of them succeed? Yi Tian was surprised. Guanxingjian 827 Zhu shook his head and said, as far as I know, no. There is no legend that the eternal realm in the tower will have the eternal skill of will, but it does not leave any inheritance about the eternal skill of will. We only communicate with those fighting in the eternal realm. It is impossible to create the eternal will technique. It can even be said that the eternal will technique is a system that is incompatible with our cultivation system. We don't even have the inheritance of the entry, how can we create it? Immediately, he mentioned another sentence. Perhaps eternal realm has been created, but it will not be said. However, eternal realm put forward such a guess that the fusion of will and innate eternal rules is the creation of the eternal skill of will. Basic conditions. But our half-step eternal realm needs to integrate the innate eternal rules with the body before we can break through to the eternal realm. The Lord of Immortal Realm needs to fuse the body and the will to become the Immortal Realm or even the Legendary Lord, and never needs to fuse the will with the innate eternal rules. In addition, the fusion of the innate eternal rules and the will is too dangerous, and it will cause the will to collapse if you are not careful. I feel that there is no way to integrate the will with the innate eternal rules. This is an impossible path, and no one dares to try it. The fusion of will and innate eternal rules. Yi Tian heard this sentence and suddenly felt that this might be the right way, but no one dared to go. Chapter 1676 Success, Eternal Will, Another Way. After Yi Tian said goodbye, he went back. Subsequently, Yi Tian's cloned body began to study the path of fusion of will and innate eternal rules. He knew very well that in the realm of time and space, other eternal realms would not dare to take this path, so he had almost no data for reference, only explore step by step yourself. A large number of innate eternal rules were mobilized by Yi Tian, and then mobilized willpower to try to merge with innate eternal rules. He doesn't know how to fuse, so he can only forcibly fuse, constantly colliding his will with the innate eternal rules. A moment, the will collapsed, and this duplicate body turned into a corpse, and disappeared in a blink of an eye. Failed, Yi Tian muttered. He had expected this failure for a long time, but he still tried. If you want to take the road that others have not taken, you must go through countless attempts, which is also an inevitable process. In the next days, Yi Tian tried to fuse again and failed again and again. After failing countless times, Yi Tian was finally ready to try another fusion method, that is, let the innate eternal rules try to fuse into the world of will. If the world of will is fused with the innate eternal rules, it is equivalent to the birth of rules in the world of will. This is also a fusion, and the difficulty is lower and easier. Otherwise, it is almost impossible to completely integrate one's own will with the innate eternal rules at once. This is also an experience that Yi Tian has tried countless times to sum up. Then, Yi Tian began to mobilize a trace of innate eternal rules into one of his own will worlds, and began to merge with the wills in the will world, so that rules were born within the will world. Zzzz. The will world began to collapse in the fusion rules, and soon it completely collapsed, but Yi Tian's will was also traumatized, and his body was also severely injured, but this time he did not die. Maybe I'm on the right track, Yi Tian said in surprise. Afterwards, he tried to fuse it a few times before the clone body completely shattered. In the years that followed, Yi Tian let the innate eternal rules merge with the world of will, and after many failed attempts, he gradually summed up some experience and even explored a prototype of the road. Yi Tian is very firm, and his will and innate eternal rules can be integrated. Yi Tian deduced and tried at the same time. After countless trials, he finally got something. This day, Yi Tian's innate eternal rules are the same as usual. In the world of will and will, this time the innate eternal rules have been transformed into threads and combined into a printing formation. This printing formation has the effect of being compatible with all things, so when Yi Tian fuses with his will in this way, the success rate will be higher, and he has already modified the formation and tried many times. Under his control, the innate eternal rules and will began to merge. A moment, the two slowly merged. Although this is just the beginning, for Yi Tian, it is the hope of a new path. Before long, the innate eternal rules slowly merged with the will in this world of wills. With this beginning, Yi Tian's later experiments went much smoother. In the future attempts, Yi Tian's innate eternal rules are fused with the will worlds, but the fusion of will and innate eternal rules is endless, and he is just starting a beginning. After the initial fusion of Yi Tian's will and the innate eternal rules, he really touched the threshold of the eternal will. Now he knows that the eternal will technique is to study the power after the fusion of the will and the innate eternal rules, and exert its power by creating the eternal technique. This is the eternal will technique. And Yi Tian has this power now, and after he gave birth to this power, he also knew its name. The power of will rules. If there is no birth will rule power, it is impossible to create eternal skills. It is the power basis of will eternal skills. Without this foundation, it is impossible to cross the threshold. At this time, Yi Tian thought of the unreachable sword in the ruins. He might be able to use the sword's kendo aura and the power of the rules of will to combine the power to create an eternal skill of kendo will that contains domineering power. Do it when you think of it. Yi Tian began to try to create such an eternal skill of kendo will. Since he has just started to create it, he does not have high requirements, as long as he can create an ordinary eternal skill of will. Since Yi Tian's power talent is a legendary ancestral gift, he created very fast in terms of power. In just 100,000 robbery years, he has successfully created an eternal will skill, which is second only to the top eternal skill. This will eternal skill is called will slashing sword, although it is only an ordinary eternal skill, but other eternal realms have no means to deal with will eternal skill, so the deterrence of ordinary will eternal skill is even comparable to legendary eternal skill. Subsequently, Yi Tian also created the eternal will of will in other aspects, such as the defensive range. If he created an eternal defensive will, he could easily resist the attacks of the eternal realm when he was breaking through the legendary tower. So that you can get to a higher level. Before you know it, several eternal years have passed. At this time, Yi Tian had already created many will eternal skills. For example, the defensive will eternal skill will wall light. The eternal skill of the will of speed, will shadow light. In addition, Yi Tian also created another attack-type eternal skill of will Judao Boxing, which is an attack-type eternal skill of will that he created based on the eternal Judao Boxing. Having created these will eternal skills, for Yi Tian, the strength has been greatly improved. In the dark, he felt a special change in his body. Although his strength did not increase, his will increased a lot, and he was full of vitality. What's more, Yi Tian's control over his will has increased several times. This made Yi Tian even more convinced that this path was very correct. This day, Yi Tian came to Junwu Legend Pagoda again, and he was going to break into Junwu Legend Pagoda again to see how many floors he could reach. He firmly believed that he could easily pass through the 11th floor, or even the 12th floor. There is no legend on the 11th floor of the tower. Yi Tian appeared here, and 3 eternal realms appeared, and they all used the will eternal is it good money skill to attack Yi Tian. At this moment, a golden light appeared on Yi Tian's body, easily resisting the attacks of the 3 eternal realms. This is the wall of will. Legendary eternal skills can't completely resist the attack of will, but ordinary eternal skills such as the wall of will can block it. This is the eternal skill of will restraining the eternal skill of will. Eternal Fist of Will. Yi Tian smashed out with a punch, and behind him appeared the phantoms of billions of will worlds, crushing the time and space of the ages, suppressing them to the ground. The void collapsed, the eternal rules were broken, and everything in front of him turned into nothingness. And the 3 eternal realms were blasted out one after another, and one by one was not lightly injured. Will cut the void sword, drop. A sword of will slashing out from the void, a sword pierced through an eternal realm, and the opponent's body immediately collapsed. Soon, Yi Tian smashed the other 2 eternal realms, and successfully passed the 11th floor with ease. Wow! Yi Tian came to the 12th floor. Chapter 1677 Hunting and Killing Illusory Beasts, Strength Increases. The 3 eternal realms on the 12th floor were naturally stronger, but Yi Tian still fought hard to defeat the 3 eternal realms and pass the 12th floor. But on the 13th floor, Yi Tian still failed, mainly because the difference in combat power was a bit large. But Yi Tian felt that if he continued to improve the fusion of his will and his body, he would be able to defeat the 3 eternal realms on the 13th floor. This time, I passed through the 11th and 12th floors one after another, and obtained 10 robbery yuan of enlightenment time. There should be hope to go further, and then create some top will eternal skills, you can easily break through. Have you passed the 13th floor of the True No Legend Tower? Yi Tian muttered. Subsequently, he entered the land of no legends, where he began to cultivate, constantly merging his will with his body. Just started training, he accidentally wanted to try to fuse the will with the innate eternal rules. This attempt was incredible, and immediately discovered that in the real world, the speed of the fusion of will and innate eternal rules was many times faster. This, quote, Yi Tian understood a little. The true no Dao scarred tree in the legendary land is actually a holy tree that fuses the will and the innate eternal rules, but it also has an effect on the fusion of the will and the body. 843 Then, Yi Tian started to fuse the will and the innate eternal rules with the help of the true legend, but the fusion process of the will and the body did not give up. After all, he wanted to become stronger and break through to the eternal realm as soon as possible or even the legendary lord level. Another example is the integration of the will and the body. Therefore, the fusion of will and body is more important to him at present. Before you know it, 10 robbery years have passed. At this time, Yi Tian's will and body have reached a progress of 16%, but the progress of the fusion of will and innate eternal rules is also very good. But if a standard is used to describe the fusion progress of will and innate eternal rules, he can't give a standard. After all, even the wills of the will world and the innate eternal rules are not completely integrated, only a little bit, as if the will world can't completely withstand it. However, compared to before, his strength has improved a lot. After that, Yi Tian continued to create the eternal will skill, and it took dozens of eternity years to perfect the eternal will skills that he created before to the level of the top eternal will skill, and the threat level was even more than the average legend. Eternal skill. Finally this day, Yi Tian crossed the 13th floor in the True No Legend Pagoda, and gained 5 more robbery periods of cultivation and enlightenment. However, the cultivation time of 5 robbery yuan is not very helpful. Yi Tian has only increased the degree of fusion of will and body from 16% to 17%. Unless you can have an endless eternity comprehension time, it is almost impossible to completely fuse the will with the body by relying on true legends. Yi Tian was enlightened. If you really want to quickly integrate the will and the body, I am afraid that other opportunities are needed. Maybe I can hunt the void beast. Yi Tian thought to himself. His current strength is already very strong, comparable to the powerful immortal realm, and he will also target the immortal beast's legendary eternal skills and will eternal skills, even if it is a half-step immortal realm powerhouse. Must be taller than him. Moreover, he has multiple duplicate bodies, even if one falls, it can be quickly condensed, and the price to pay is not large. Therefore, he is earning money by hunting and killing the beasts of nothingness. And even if there are clones in other eternal realms, they don't dare to take such risks, and if they lose a clone, they will lose a lot. Let's go hunt and kill the illusory beast. The 3 copies of the body will shoot together to hunt and kill the first-order illusory beast. With my current strength, I am afraid that I can kill the first-order illusory beast in an instant. Yi Tian estimated. This day, Yi Tian left the space-time territory, and the 3 clone bodies penetrated into the void area, and the clone talent was turned on all the time. In a place like the void area, the scope covered by the copied CJFI talent can be wider than the scope of his own investigation. If he encounters an extremely powerful or large-scale void herd, he will temporarily retreat and not meet them. After traveling for a long time, Yi Tian did not find a phantom beast. Obviously, after the defeat, the phantom beast retreated so deeply that it couldn't find a phantom beast here at all. In this way, Yi Tian flew for a long time and finally sensed the existence of a void beast. Second-order void beast. No, you can't kill it instantly. I'm afraid this is a place close to the void beast. Once you can't kill it instantly, you won't be able to escape in time. Yi Tian gave up this goal and immediately left this area to search for other void beasts again. Soon, Yi Tian found a first-order nihilistic beast, and the other party was slowly swimming in the nihilistic area. That's it. Yi Tian immediately displayed his true body of nothingness and was in a state of nothingness, so it was not easy to be discovered. After approaching this void beast, Yi Tian immediately shot. Dongshu's secret sword. Puff. The illusory Dongshu secret sword directly penetrated this first-order void beast, and it was seriously injured and dying with a single blow. Then, Yi Tian's second attack came immediately. Will slashing void sword. This sword directly cut the void beast into 2 pieces, and all the vitality was cut off. This nihilistic beast has fallen. Wow. Yi Tian put away the corpse of the void beast, shuttled at an extremely fast speed, and the 3 duplicated bodies shuttled away separately, so that even if they encountered a heavy siege, they would not be wiped out. If the entire army is wiped out, he will not be able to recondense the cloned body here, and he has to let the cloned body rush over again, which will undoubtedly be a waste of time. Fortunately, his speed was fast enough, so he did not encounter the pursuit of the void beast. In the days that followed, Yi Tian continued to hunt and kill nihilistic beasts in this emptiness area, and also paid a replica body to practice in a not very distant area, constantly refining nihilistic beast materials, thereby improving his will and body. Fusion. In this way, Yi Tian hunted and killed one nihilistic beast after another, and the integration of will and body became higher and higher, which meant that his own strength became stronger and stronger. 1 to 8 fusion degree. 10% fusion degree. 2 into the fusion degree. Yi Tian was very smooth at the beginning, but as the number of void beasts disappeared, he finally caught the attention of the void beast kings in this area. This void beast king is a 4th-order void beast, comparable to the top immortal lord, second only to the existence of the legendary lord. It leads a lot of void beasts, and it noticed that many void beasts under its command were missing. Although it didn't care much, it still went to investigate. However, there were hordes of nihilistic beasts in this area, and this brought trouble to Yi Tian's hunting. Chapter 1678. A mysterious relic in the void beast territory. Caught the void beast's attention. Yi Tian encountered many phantom beast teams, and each phantom beast team was led by a second-order phantom beast. Even if the phantom beast's intelligence was very low, the cooperation would not work, but there must be a powerful phantom beast behind the scenes. Therefore, once he encountered it, he was quickly besieged. This region must be abandoned. Yi Tian thought to himself. Immediately, he left this void area and went to other void areas to continue searching for void beasts to hunt and kill. However, he didn't know much about this void area, so he quickly broke into the inner circle of a void beast group. Even if he had the talent of copying to investigate, he was still surrounded. Therefore, Yi Tian directly gave up this duplicate body and did not meet and fight with these illusory beasts. After, Yi Tian used a replica body to explore the path, and finally found the correct route and came to another void area. Here, nothingness beasts do not appear in groups. Afterwards, Yi Tian hunted and killed the void beast in this area. However, after beheading some void beasts, Yi Tian caught the Lord's attention, and Yi Tian left immediately. After changing several areas, Yi Tian has reached the bottom line of the void beast. A fifth-order nihilistic beast descends here, and this nihilistic beast will personally kill the eternal realm that sneaks into this place. Yi Tian quickly learned how terrifying a fifth-order nihilistic beast is at the level of a legendary lord. When Yi Tian was about to kill a first-order emptiness beast instantly, the surrounding emptiness area oscillated, and a figure crossed the emptiness from a distant place. Zzz. The void area was fragmented, and an incomparably huge void beast descended, and it was a fifth-order void beast. Life in the space-time territory, you are courting death. The fifth-order void beast patted it with a paw. No matter how Yi Tian resisted, it was of no use. The three duplicate bodies were directly frozen, and they were immediately smashed by one blow. Another place. Yi Tian's last cloned body here immediately recondensed three cloned bodies, and then spread them out, lest this place is also tracked by the fifth-order void beast. After a long time, Yi Tian was sure that the fifth-order nihilistic beast couldn't track him, so he breathed a sigh of relief. Looks like it's going to be difficult to continue hunting void beasts. Yi Tian thought to himself. However, he has also gained a lot. Now he has raised the level of fusion of will and body to a level of 25%, which is a level that many immortal lords cannot achieve, and he has only cultivated for such a short period of time. I have already penetrated into the territory of the void beast. Yi Tian suddenly thought. He estimated that the void beasts were completely furious. If he returned the same way, he might not be able to withdraw safely. Moreover, even if all of his cloned bodies fall, there is no loss. After all, his strength has improved, and there are not many resources on his body, so the loss will be lost. Therefore, Yi Tian is going to go deeper into the depths of the void beast's territory, and there may be other gains. Just like this, Yi Tian's 4 cloned bodies went to the depths of the void beast territory. Along the way, there are constantly duplicate bodies discovered by the void beast, and then killed by the 5th-order void beast or the 4th-order void beast. As time passed, Yi Tian found that the resources on his body were exhausted, and there was no way to condense and copy his body. Condensing and copying the body requires energy, and this is a void area, there is no energy supply, and the energy on the body is exhausted. No matter how powerful the copying talent is, there is no way to condense a new copying body. Unless he finds a treasure and collects some resources, he can continue to condense new cloned bodies. After another period of time, even if Yi Tian was more careful, 2 of the 4 cloned bodies fell, and only 2 cloned bodies remained on the void beast's territory. This day, Yi Tian was lucky, and actually found a broken world in the void area, which can also be said to be a relic. In the vicinity of this ruins, there are still many illusory beasts. Yi Tian didn't notice the existence of the 3rd-order void beast, and the most powerful void beast here was only the 2nd-order void beast. How can a relic world appear on the site of the void beast? Yi Tian was very curious. This must not be the lair of the void beast, because in this world ruins, he clearly felt the fluctuation of the formation, and the void beast can't form the formation, and their low IQ can't create a cultivation civilization at all. For flowers. Therefore, the ruined world here must not belong to the void beast. Could it be a relic of the space-time territory? Yi Tian guessed secretly, but this possibility is not very big, because this place is too far from the space-time territory. If it is really a relic of the space-time territory, it is impossible to come here, and even the void beast cannot destroy it. As far as he knows, there is no such powerful relic in the space-time territory. Or is it a relic similar to the relic where the legend of Junwu Tower is located? When Yi Tian thought of this, he was a little moved. If this is the case, then this time is a great opportunity. He carefully observed it. This relic world is relatively dilapidated, there are a total of more cracks, from these cracks can enter this relic world. Let a replica body enter the gamble first. 1. Yi Tian decided. Wow, Yi Tian used the legendary eternal skill of Wuji, and instantly crossed the void area and arrived at a crack. At this time, several second-order nihilistic beasts sensed the existence of Yi Tian and attacked immediately. The other void beasts also attacked one after another, and their responses were not slow. Nothingness. Wall of will. After these 2 methods, the attack of the void beast was weakened by more than 90%, and it was difficult to cause substantial damage to Yi Tian. Immediately, Yi Tian passed through the crack and entered this world of ruins. Soon after, a 5th-order void beast descended, staring at the ruins, his eyes full of anger. An ant actually broke into here. Who is he, and why does he have so many clones? This 5th-order void beast is very curious. It is a pity that he cannot enter this relic world, nor can other nihilistic beasts enter. It seems that this relic world prohibits nihilistic beasts from entering, but allows other beings to enter. Boom. The fifth order void beast slapped the relic world with its 2 claws, attacked again and again, but only set off ripples again and again, unable to cause any damage to the relic world at all. Even the fifth order nihilistic beast can't damage this relic world, but this relic world has been damaged like this before the long years, which shows what a terrifying battle it has gone through. Chapter 1679 2 Cultivation Systems, the Legendary Realm. Relic World. It is in ruins, but it is not completely exhausted, and there are still many resources. So, Yi Tian started to collect resources here. It has to be said that although the resources here are very few, the quality is very high. In a short time, Yi Tian has collected enough resources to condense the cloned body many times. So, he immediately condensed the other 2 duplicate bodies. As for the other copy body, it was kept hidden from the outside world, lest he couldn't get out, and the copy body would be trapped here. After all, the copy body in the outside world had no resources, and there was no way to condense other copy bodies. This day, Yi Tian found a corpse, and it was also the corpse of an Eternal Realm powerhouse. This is a female corpse, wearing a battle armor, but the battle armor is extremely broken, the place where it is directly turned into nothingness, and it has not been repaired yet, and there is a 3-inch long sword on her body, piercing through it. Body. This is just a superficial wound. Yi Tian's divine sense probed the past, and saw that every particle of the opponent's body had lost the power of will, and any particle had a kind of kendo aura, obviously by a powerful, 843, kendo Eternal Realm. Eternal skill erases willpower and life. What? Yi Tian screamed in surprise. He found that the corpse was a bit special. Although the other party had fallen, some traces of the other party's cultivation could still be seen from the corpse. Maybe other Eternal Realms can't see the situation of this corpse, but he can. This corpse must have fused the innate eternal rules with the will, and he has also fused it, so he can sense it. Judging from the breath emanating from the corpse, this is just the corpse of an inextinguishable lord, but it has achieved the fusion of will and innate eternal rules. It is clear that the system she cultivates is not the system of the Source Sea and the space-time territory, but the real system. There is no cultivation system behind the ruins of the Legend Pagoda. Perhaps in that system, half-step Eternal Realm can try to integrate will and innate eternal rules, and many Eternal Realms will have will eternal skills. This corpse is of great value to me, and it can be carefully studied, which is of great help to the fusion of my will with the innate eternal rules. Yi Tian thought to himself. So he took the body away. It's a pity that she didn't have any treasure resources on her body. Obviously, after being killed, the resources on her body were taken away. In the days that followed, Yi Tian found quite a few corpses in this world of ruins, all of them from the Eternal Realm, and there were traces of the fusion of will and innate eternal rules on their bodies. Therefore, Yi Tian took all these corpses away. Yi Tian has been searching for a long time in this relic world, but has not seen a living Eternal Realm, and even there are very few living creatures, only some half-step Eternal Realm beings, unfortunately trapped in this relic world. There is no way forward, and thus has been unable to break through to become the Eternal Realm. Finally this day, Yi Tian came to the center of the ruins world and saw a ruin here. The battle here must have been extremely tragic. Yi Tian even felt a lot of aura that made his heart palpitate, and he didn't even dare to approach. Moreover, there are many corpse fragments from the Eternal Realm, such as a finger and an arm. Under the evolution of the long years, these corpse fragments have lost the support of their strength, and they are not complete corpses, so they have turned into treasures. For example, one of the mountains was made of a skeleton. It has to be said that because too many Eternal Realms have fallen here, the resources born here are very rich. So, Yi Tian started to collect the resources here. After a long time, Yi Tian has collected all the resources that can be collected here, which can be regarded as a great harvest. Subsequently, he began to venture deep into the ruins of this battlefield. The thing he most wanted to collect was inheritance. Even the most rubbish inheritance could at least give him a little guidance, at least it could save countless years of research. However, there are too many terrifying traces here, and some traces have existed for countless eternal years, which can instantly kill Yi Tian. According to Yi Tian's guess, the existence that left such terrifying traces must surpass the legendary lord level. Of course, Yi Tian doesn't have the time to slowly comprehend here. He let a cloned body go deep into the broken void, into the depths of the battlefield, and saw countless void fragments and temple fragments, and he felt very much in his heart. Suddenly, Yi Tian triggered a force, and saw a tiny silk thread floating in the void, directly crossing Yi Tian's body. Next moment, Yi Tian's copy body disintegrated directly, and it disintegrated without any resistance. Outside the ruins of the battlefield, Yi Tian sensed that his copy body had fallen, and immediately condensed another copy body and let it enter the ruins of the battlefield again. In this way, Yi Tian tried again and again. Even though he fell many times, he still went deep into the ruins of the battlefield. Somewhere in the ruins of the battlefield, a phalanx floated there, and on the phalanx was a ring inlaid with a void ball. However, this void ball was also severely damaged. There is still a void ball left. Yi Tian was excited. No matter how broken such a void ball is, there may still be a small piece of void space preserved, which means that it is a good thing. So, he took the phalanx and returned to the original path, lest an accident would cause the phalanx and the void ball to be lost. Soon, copying the body back, Yi Tian began to stabilize the void, and then slowly opened the void ball. Boom! A small piece of broken void appeared in Yi Tian's perception, but this broken void seemed to be broken at any time. Yi Tian's fastest speed brought all the treasures of this broken void came. The void ball was affected by Yi Tian's force 1, and the bottom was broken. There are still many treasures, Yi Tian said with joy. Obviously, these things are primitive, that is, the victor of the war left out this void ball, otherwise it would not be his turn. This should be the treasure of an immortal lord, and it is only a small part, so for Yi Tian, these resources are not too many, but they are not too small, enough to make his net worth increase a lot. But what really makes Yi Tian care about is that there are still many inheritances and classics here, and these things are more precious to him. Yi Tian accepted these inheritances little by little, browsed some classics, and gradually acquired a lot of things. Quiet. From the inheritance and data books, we can know that this immortal lord came from a place called Jingshu, which is very likely to be this relic world. In addition, Yi Tian also learned about the other party's cultivation system, which is indeed somewhat different from Yuanai. For example, if the other party has reached the half-step eternal realm, they can try to fuse the will with the eternal rules or the innate eternal rules. After the fusion reaches a certain level, they can break through to the eternal realm. And they divided the eternal realm into will realm, immortal realm, legendary realm, and other realms. If they want to cultivate to the legendary realm, they must regularize all the particles in the body, and each particle of the body contains the power of will rules after the fusion of the will and the innate eternal rules. On the space-time territory, only after the will and the body are 100% integrated can they reach the legendary lord realm. However, if the eternal realm on the side of Jingshu wants to attack the legend realm lord, it must completely integrate the power of the rules of will with the body, and this step is extremely difficult. I didn't expect that to the end of their cultivation system, they still followed our path, and after our path has reached the legendary lord, we must follow their path. In this way, everyone is the same when they reach the legendary realm. The only difference is that they have a way of merging the will with the body, and we have no way of merging the will with the innate eternal rules. Yi Tian muttered. And he has also acquired a secret technique inheritance, and he can try to fuse the will with the innate eternal rules. This secret technique is called Chenshu technique. However, after Yi Tian's cloned body cultivated at 5.8 in the space-time territory, he found that this secret technique was useless. Suddenly, Yi Tian understood something. The world is different. Yi Tian thought. On the Yuanai side, the path that wants to fuse the will with the innate eternal rules is far beyond the world where Jingshu is located, and it is extremely difficult for Jingshu to take the road of the fusion of the will and the body. This is the result of heaven and earth. It seems that I must use my will and my body to fuse the road to become the eternal realm, and then use the willpower and the innate eternal rules to completely merge to reach the legendary realm. Yi Tian thought. This time, although not much has been achieved, the path is clear. In the years to come, Yi Tian will continue to search for treasures in the ruins of this quiet battlefield, and at the same time, there will be a replica body here to comprehend and practice. Gradually, Yi Tian obtained more and more good things, and some things were even the fusion of the will to improve and the innate eternal rules. In the blink of an eye, 1,000 eternal years have passed. This day, the star-watching sword ancestor came to inform Yi Tian that he was going to attack the eternal realm and asked Yi Tian to observe it. Chapter 1680 Break Through the Eternal Realm, Immortal. The star-watching sword ancestor is finally going to choose a breakthrough. When Yi Tian first met the star-watching sword ancestor, the fusion of the opponent's will and body was already close to 10%, and now that it has reached 10%, he will no longer stay in the Juji realm and will attack the eternal realm. Only when the star-watching sword ancestor reaches the eternal realm can his strength reach the immortal realm level, and when he becomes the immortal realm, he is eligible to obtain more resources. Although it is easier to integrate the will and the body at the Juji level, but if there is no other opportunity, the speed will be very slow. Moreover, the creatures in the space-time territory, even if they are in the Juji realm, still have a limited lifespan, so it is impossible for the star-watching sword ancestor to stay in the Juji realm all the time. The location where the stargazing swordsman chose to break through was at the Baji building, and he invited many friends to come and watch, including many of the lords of the immortal realm. Octopus building, a member of the eternal realm and the Baji building came here, waiting for the breakthrough of the star-watching swordsman. It didn't take long for a huge vortex of source energy to form around the Baji building. The endless innate eternal rules poured into the body of the star-watching swordsman, and merged with his body. The fusion of the innate eternal rules and the body is a necessary condition for becoming the eternal realm. The Juji realm can easily fuse the body with the innate eternal rules, so it will not take long for the star-watching sword ancestor to break through to become an eternal realm, and it is the existence of the immortal realm, crossing the immortal realm and immortality at once. 2 realms. Buzz. A giant sword covering the entire space-time territory emerged, covering this space-time territory and the surrounding void area. And a stalwart body projection turned into a giant, as if one hand could cover a space-time territory. This stalwart figure is the stargazing swordsman, and all this is just the escape of the stargazing swordsman's breakthrough power. In the space-time domain, many creatures dare not look directly at the body projection of the stargazing swordsman. If anyone dares to look directly, the body and soul will be frozen, time and space will be frozen, and only the 8 extreme realms dare to look directly at the stargazing. The breakthrough process of Janzu. After a long time, the breakthrough of the stargazing sword ancestor was officially completed. At this time, the voice of the stargazing swordsman came out. "Everyone, please come in." Soon, everyone saw the stargazing swordsman. At this time, the aura of the star-watching sword ancestor could not be fully restrained, so a trace of the immortal realm's aura escaped, causing a major suppression to many of the 8 extreme realms, and even Yi Tian felt the weak suppression. Lord of the immortal realm. Many Baji realms looked at the star-watching sword ancestor and were very envious. In the entire space-time territory, there are too few immortal lords, and the star-watching sword ancestor has now stepped into this level, standing in the top ranks of the space-time territory. "Meet the Stargazer Lord," the 8 poles respectfully said. In any case, star-watching sword ancestor is no longer a half-step eternal realm, but an eternal realm lord, and an eternal realm lord at the immortal realm level. Except Yi Tian, other people dare not disrespect the star-watching lord. "Today, I preached immortality, so I will preach a sermon on the spot. From today onwards, I will no longer be a member of Bajilo." Stargazing Lord rode. The other Baji realm remained silent. Baji building was originally a joint force of Baji realm or Juji realm. Once they broke through to eternal realm, they had to leave Baji building. This was a rule. So, they didn't dissuade the Stargazer Lord. Subsequently, the Stargazing Lord told his own Tao, and even talked about many experiences like hitting the eternal realm and how to hit the Juji realm. This sermon took 100,000 years to finally end. After that, the Stargazing Lord chatted with Yi Tian privately. "The infinite ancestor, you are afraid that you have already surpassed 10% in the fusion of will and body. When are you going to attack the eternal realm?" The Stargazing Lord asked curiously. "Wait a minute, I am a origin sea creature and have no lifespan limit, so I'm not in a hurry," Yi Tian said with a smile. "That's right." The Stargazing Lord nodded slightly, but still reminded, "However, you don't have to stay in the Juji realm for too long, the endless ancestor, only after you become a mortal realm, your strength is stronger, you can get more opportunity, and the Juji realm is not actually strong in the space-time territory, and it is difficult to obtain many benefits." "I see." Yi Tian nodded. The star-watching sword ancestor has broken through to the eternal realm, and in this era of time and space territory, I am the only one in the Juji realm. Yi Tian muttered. At this time, his strength has approached a limit. He has gained a lot of benefits in the quiet void battlefield ruins, and he has also obtained multiple inheritances, and even obtained a secret technique that can enhance the will, similar to the world of will, even better than the world of will. It is even stronger, which makes Yi Tian perfect the secret technique of the world of will more easily. In addition, Yi Tian has also found some treasures that can enhance the tempering will, and now he has opened up a world of wills that number 50,000, and the will is more integrated with the innate eternal rules. And the fusion of will and body has finally reached the realm of 30%. Not only that, Yi Tian also created a legendary level will eternal skill, which greatly increased his strength. Moreover, Yi Tian's half-step eternal power has almost been compressed to the current extreme, and it has been compressed to a level of nearly 300 times. After a few years, Yi Tian's strength increased slowly, almost stagnant. Moreover, it has become more difficult for him to hunt the void beast now. In the end, Yi Tian decided to break through to the eternal realm first, and then he could copy the body of the void beast. It would be easier to hunt the void beast. Even after breaking through to the immortal realm, it would be more difficult to improve the fusion of the will in the body. But at least there are a lot of void beast materials, and the cultivation speed is definitely faster than now. Therefore, he no longer hesitated, the main body directly made a breakthrough in the source sea, and did not notify anyone. Dark Forbidden Area. Yi Tian chose to make a breakthrough here. Once he has completed the breakthrough, the Dark Forbidden Realm will probably transform again, surpassing the eternal heaven and earth. During the breakthrough process, Yi Tian continued to promote it, so that the people could not look directly at his breakthrough process. Then, Yi Tian started to make a breakthrough. Boom! Under the control of Yi Tian, the endless innate eternal rules began to fuse with the body. Gradually, every particle of his book was completely merged with the innate eternal rules, creating a child. At the same time, endless source energy poured into Yi Tian's body, helping him to complete the final qualitative change. And Yi Tian's breath became more and more terrifying, spreading to the entire Dark Forbidden Area and even the endless territory around. At this moment, Yi Tian seems to have turned into a giant. 1 foot is enough to destroy a large number of eternal worlds, and even the endless lifeforms of the entire source sea seem to sense a terrifying existence, unable to look directly, can't see, but it is mysterious sensed in it. After a long time, Yi Tian's body has completed the final transformation, and the body and the innate eternal rules have been completely integrated. He will make the most perfect use of the innate eternal rules in the future, and any blow will be an attack like the innate eternal rules. Not only that, due to the fusion of will and body, and the degree of fusion has reached more than 30%, the will has skyrocketed and the strength of the body has also skyrocketed. Now, Yi Tian has not only stepped into the immortal realm level, but also belongs to a relatively powerful category at the immortal realm level. According to the fusion of the will and the body, the 10% fusion is the just promoted immortal realm, which is called the 1-step immortal realm, while the 90% fusion is the 9-step immortal realm, and Yi Tian has taken the 3rd step. 3-step immortality. But if combined with the legendary will eternal skill and a large number of other legendary eternal skills, his strength is probably much stronger than many immortal realms with 4 or 5 steps or even 6 or 7 steps.